Welcome to Gilbert, Arizona, the site of today's AIA 6A football matchup between the Highland Hawks and Queen Creek. For Peyton Gallagher, I'm Allie Skull, with you here at the press box at Highland High School. We've got a good one coming today, Peyton. But Highland starts without their fresh starting quarterback, sophomore Gage Daly. They will start Taylor Silent for the second straight week. It's his second career varsity start. How does he change the Highland offense?
He is a vertical guy. He is going to unleash the ball down the field and give his receivers a chance to make a play. That's where he's at his best. This offense is going to be check down or touchdown all night long. West Coast style approach where they're going to take the stuff underneath when it's there, but to give their quarterback the most confidence they can and put him in the best possible situation to elevate this offense, look for them to take shots, especially outside the numbers, going vertical to Schroeder and True Tanner.
Yeah, he'll be throwing to a couple guys like you just mentioned, Peyton. Zach Schroeder, True Tanner. They both stepped up in the absence now of their starting receiver and star receiver, Tanner Crandall. How does that change the offense coming in tonight with the injury bug that Highland has been facing?
Well, he is kind of the crown jewel of this offense at this point, him and Daniel Wood. But this entire team has been able to step into the gas left by injury. They've dealt with a lot of them throughout the year, but it's never been a problem. So I'm not expecting it to be a problem tonight.
Over 300 yards for Zach Schroeder tonight. He'll carry the load for the Highland Hawks offense in the receiving end. Now we go down to the third member of our crew, Jack Johnson, who is with Zach Schroeder, and then after that, quarterback Taylor Siren.
Yes. Now, I mentioned earlier, you came in, you played a little bit of Pop Warner in 7th and 8th grade, so you have quarterbacking experience, but at the high school level, at varsity, your first start was a couple weeks ago. What have you learned from then until now?
Everything's a lot quicker. It's a lot faster tempo. The guys are bigger. It's just bigger competition, and there's a lot more on the line.
You trust your receivers. You trust your offensive line. You got a lot of leaders on the outside, True Tanner and Zach Schroeder. What have those guys meant to you?
They just give me the most confidence that anybody's ever given me, and the line's got my back. They're going to protect me. I know the receivers are going to catch the ball, so it's nothing to worry about. I just got to go out there and make the plays.
Coach Farrell talked about there's concepts that you're specifically good at that they put in after Gage Daly went down. So can you elaborate a little bit? Where do you excel in your game?
Me and Gage both play the position differently, I think. Sometimes he makes certain reads better than I do, and Coach Farrell's just kind of adapted the offense to that. We just kind of threw in some new plays and took out some other ones that maybe weren't working well in practice, and we're just trying to mold what I could do in my specialties. So,
Taylor, what type of throws make you the most confident?
I like taking deep shots on the field, knowing that Zach or Chu's going to be there to catch it. Those are the best types of throws.
Always good to rely on your receivers.
Sure.
Good luck out there tonight.
Thank you.
Taylor Siren, number 5, quarterback for the Highland Hawks, and he'll going to lead if they're going to win the game tonight, he's going to have to lead his team to victory. Back up to you guys. Welcome back down to the field with number 2, Zach Schroeder. And Zach, you guys have faced a lot of adversity on the receiver end, especially with your brother Tanner Crandall going down last week. So what are you going to have to do to step up?
We've been working hard in practice. I gotta step up big. Me and True Tanner. With Taylor, he's been doing good in practice, and we're gonna get it.
This is your last regular season home game here at Highland. I mean, what has this experience meant to you? You guys had senior week last week, but this is the last one. You guys are wearing the midnight black, so you're looking good to go out.
It's a crazy experience. The fan base is crazy, and the environment's amazing. And I'm gonna miss it, but we need this win, and we're gonna get it at home.
Going forward, what are your plans after the football season?
We're going to see where football and track take me.
And then you're going to continue on with track in the spring?
Yes, sir.
All right, so what are your good events in track?
Hurdles, 110, 300s, 4x1, and 4x4.
You guys have had Gage Daly, your quarterback, number 12, go down. You had a backup, Taylor Siren, come in. I mean, what has he been like as a receiver?
He's great. He's working hard in practice. I just got to keep his confidence up. And, he's getting the balls there, and he's doing what he's doing, so.
Zach, thank you so much. You have a good game. Zach Schroeder, number 2, and the wide receiver who's going to carry the load tonight for the Highland Hawks. We'll bring in Taylor Siren, number 5.
Thank you, Jack. We'll check back in with him in just a couple seconds. Naveen, I want to ask you about this Highland Hawks defense. Cam Cullimore was out last week. He comes back this week. What does that mean for this offense to get something back from the injury bug?
Well, this linebacking core is a real percussion section of this defense. They're going to hit you. They're going to hit you hard, and that goes for everybody who suits up and sits in the second level of that defense. Now, Cullimore is different, though. This is a great group, but he is the tone setter. He hits harder than anybody in this group. He plays with his hair on fire, so much electricity, so much emotion from him, and that helps his teammates get fired up on the field. He gives them a little bit of extra oomph. It's like in gumbo. You want the oomph. He's what provides that for this defense, and he's going to be important here tonight against a team that really wants to run the football.
And in front of that talented linebacking core is a talented defensive line. We're going to go down back to Jack Johnson, who was with one of those defensive linemen, Cooper Brown. Jack?
Since the injury.
Well, I tore it at camp and football practice, and I've been coming back. I got surgery about 2 months ago, and I'm cleared to run in about 3 more weeks, but it's definitely not easy. I lost all my strength in my leg, just trying to get back to normal.
You know, you mentioned you lost a lot of strength in your leg. That actually, I want to segue into a question. You guys have a new weight room. So you got to take a look at that. What are your thoughts on it? It looks really cool from my eyes.
It's super nice. Big thanks to Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean, that is awesome. We needed a new weight room. It's so nice. I just can't say thank you enough. It'll be put to use for sure.
And Cooper, tell me about your team. You guys have faced a lot of injuries, including yourself this whole year. You guys have been resilient. You're 6-2 right now. With your next 2 games, these are big games coming up for your postseason chances. You know, so just tell me, your team has faced so much adversity this year, but continued to battle through. I mean, just tell me about the mentality you guys have.
I mean, we all have a very determined mentality. We also like to have fun with it. And, I mean, I love these guys to death, and I can't wait to see what they do, and I have very high hopes for what we can do at the end of the season.
Cooper, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cooper Brown, number 9. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Jack. We'll check back in with him periodically throughout the ball game. Peyton, I want to get some of your final thoughts on this matchup. Who do you see coming out with the victory tonight, and how is it going to happen?
Well, this Highland team is going to look to control the pace of the game. The same thing goes for Queen Creek. So a movable object versus an unstoppable force, and they're going to collide here on the field tonight. We'll see it play out. I honestly think with how much Queen Creek wants to run the football, if they get behind in this game, they're going to be forced to throw, and that's not what they want to do. Highland has started very fast at home in every game they played this year, which gives them a distinct advantage. If Highland can control the pace of play in the first quarter, they're looking good for the rest of the game.
And that's something Highland has done all season long here at home in Gilbert. We'll go down to the starting lineups right now in Highland. Let's go on an adventure. Highland and Queen Creek coming up next.
Gage Daly, class of 2022, quarterback.
Zach Schroeder, class of 2020, receiver.
True Tanner, class of 2020, wide receiver.
Tanner Crandall, class of 2020, wide receiver DB.
Noah Boone, class of 2021, left tackle.
Max Davis, class of 2021, running back and safety.
Colin Ellsworth, class of 2021, defensive end.
Pregame Bent, class of 2020, left guard.
Jack Fitzpatrick, class of 2020, center.
Zach Taysom, class of 2020, offensive guard.
Jackson T-Wall, class of 2020, defensive line.
Kyle Olson, class of 2020, DN.
Monai West, class of 2020, middle linebacker.
Daniel Wood, class of 2020, running back, outside linebacker.
Robert Kingsford, class of 2020, outside linebacker.
Cam Cullimore, class of 2021, middle linebacker.
Tyler Archibald, class of 2020, outside linebacker.
Jackson Delsey, class of 2021, corner.
Jay Sean Lee, class of 2020, corner.
Ammon Allen, class of 2021, free safety and receiver.
Dawson White, class of 2020, safety.
Hello and welcome back to Highland High School. It is about time for kickoff as the Highland Hawks are ready to take the field against Queen Creek. And we'll have all the action for you. Alex Gall alongside my partner Peyton Gallagher. Peyton, we talked about in the pregame a little bit of Highland's offense, but one part we didn't talk about is Daniel Wood. He's a fantastic runner, has already received a number of D1 college offers. What have you seen from him this season?
Well, he is a low pad level guy. He runs at a low height, makes him hard to tackle with a low center of gravity. This is a guy who's clearly hit the squat rack. very strong thighs that allows him to run with a north-south aggression and tint to his style that makes him very hard to deal with, especially when the offensive line in front of him has been able to convalesce throughout the year, come together, and start to open up holes. When this guy gets into the second level against smaller defenders, he's a real problem.
Averaging over 10 yards a carry this season. Daniel Wood also over 700 yards with 100 yards last week in the game that Highland won here at home. Peyton, how does Highland get the win here tonight?
I think it all comes down to the thing that they've done at home so well this year. Start fast. Get this opposing team in Queen Creek uncomfortable from the get-go. This team is going to want to run the football. If you look at their splits throughout the year, they run the ball about 2 times every time they throw it. That's about how it comes out. I think it's 280 runs to 140 passes throughout the year. They're going to want to pound the rock up and down the field. If Highland's able to climb out to an early lead in the opening stages of this game, Queen Creek doesn't get to do that, and Highland has a big upper hand going forward through the next 3 quarters.
Highland just about ready to take the field here in Gilbert, Arizona. We talked a little bit about it in the pregame, Peyton, but back tonight for the Highland Hawks defense in that big linebacking unit is Cam Cullimore. He'll play alongside Robert Kingsford and Daniel Wood tonight. That trio has done wonders for Highland's defense this season.
Yeah, those guys back there really set the tone for this defense. It's a defensive line that's missing Noah Brown, which was one of only, I believe, 3 starters coming back from last year's team that got to the state semifinal. Noah Brown was one of those guys. Was going to be the leader of this defensive line and this defense as a whole, really. He's knocked down for the year to start the season. These linebackers are forced to pick up the slack, and that started with Cullimore, as these guys have been standouts throughout the year and really spearheaded this defensive charge for Highland that's seen them climb out to a record that only features 2 losses by very small margins.
Highland still looking to get into the AIA Open Division playoffs. They're out of the top 16 at the moment with a couple big wins. The next couple of weeks could get themselves ever closer to that top 8 as the smoke has been set.
Well, this is the AIA game of the week. They're playing another team in Queen Creek that's only lost 2 games this year. A really great opportunity in front of the right eyes to make this field here tonight a proving ground for Highland on why they should be in the Open Division playoff with the elite in the state of Arizona.
And there come the 2019 Highland Hawks. They're walking onto the field today. A great moment for this Highland Hawks team. There's Robert Kingsford on the left, number 8, as they walk onto the field. Amidst the smoke, it's quite an atmosphere here in Gilbert, Arizona, as it always is. We've talked about Highland starting quick in their home games, and they have done so this season. First game of the season was against Alhambra, and they put points on the board before they even prodded their offense onto the field. A kickoff return for a touchdown started this season off, and they've never looked back at home.
No, Alex, they haven't, and as the calendar is flipped forward, we're now at a point in the year where the mercury is below 70 degrees, and when that happens, there's just a certain electricity in the air for high school football on a Friday night. And I've got to say, the atmosphere so far in pregame this evening in this blackout night for Highland during homecoming week, it has not been this good throughout the season at a single point. I'm expecting a great event here tonight that you're tuning into on the Highland Hawks TV network.
Should be a good one as the team's now taking the field. Ready and set for high school football. We're glad you're with us if you're here tonight. We get viewers from all across the country, all across the world even. We thank all of you for tuning in here tonight for what's sure to be a great game here tonight at Highland High School.
This team, this event, high school football, is such a galvanizing point for what is such a fabulous community that's been able to come together through several tragedies throughout the year and really overcome a lot of adversity. This football team has been at the center of it, and the culture of this team that's helped to lift this school. The smell of smoke is in the air as fireworks were set off just moments ago from right behind the stadium. Jackson Ray has the kicking block out there. I think Highland might be sending this ball deep to start the game if they do in fact get it. Actually, I just think Jackson is practicing his kicks. So the captains are at the 50 for Highland. This is a group that includes Zach Schroeder, Joshua Shanks, number 43. That is Garrett Bullwinkle, and number 42.
And now, Peyton, we're going to go down to the third member of our crew. It's Jack Johnson. He's down sideline. Jack, what you got for us?
Hey, guys. Well, I'm down here on the field right now, and first off, Highland looks amazing in their midnight black, but they're going to have to recover from a severe injury last week that will cripple their offense. Tanner Crandall, the team's leading receiver, went down, dislocated shoulder last week. Now he is out for presumably the rest of the season. That's going to force number 11, Grayson Kennedy, to have to step into Crandall's spot. So the receiving corps will be number 1, True Tanner, number 2, Zach Schroeder, and number 11, Grayson Kennedy. They're going to have to carry the load and replace one of the best receivers Highland has had in Tanner Crandall, number 7. Back up to you guys.
And Jack will come back to him throughout this ball game. And he talked about Tanner Crandall. Highland lost him last week to a shoulder dislocation. But we're now receiving word just tonight that he is working towards a full return to game action before the season is done, trying to be ready for the first playoff game for the Highland Hawks later on this month.
Well, and that would be huge, especially just for the morale of the team, to see a guy work in his senior year through that kind of injury. That it's not an easy injury to come back from. A lot of it is about pain management at a certain point, and for him to try and tough it out for his team would be big for this entire group to see inspiration from this guy as they head into their playoff slate. Now, it could be at the 6A level, and without Chandler and some of the other 6A powers, Highland's got a real shot if they are not in the open division, and they've got a shot with whoever they step on the field with, but especially in 6A, if teams like Chandler and Hamilton aren't present to bring home a state championship for the senior class right now in 2019.
Yeah, that's the one thing that the Open Division has done. A lot of people say it's now kind of a consolation tournament. But the one thing it does do is it gives teams like Highland, especially teams like that are right at the top of it. They're maybe not just one of the top 5 or 8 teams in the state, but they could have a really good chance to make some noise in the state tournament again this season.
Well, and I'm sure when these guys are talking to their grandkids in 50, 60 years, it's not going to make any difference whether or not they won the Open Division or 6A. That ring means everything, all the same, and the stories that they'll be able to tell their kids and tell them that they were a state champion.
Still a long way off from the state championship game next month. As we enter the end of October here in the East Valley, it's starting to cool off a little bit. I mean, I'll say it's 72 degrees right now, which is cooler than it's ever been for a kickoff here in Gilbert, Arizona this season. But as far as chilly high school football goes, we don't exactly have that a ton here in the valley.
It could be a lot worse. You know, you're from the Chicagoland area. I'm from Tennessee. It gets down into the 30s.
That's high school football weather, if you ask me.
If you ain't got to wear long sleeves, I don't want to hear any complaining.
Coach Brock Farrell does wear the long sleeves. We talked to him earlier today. Had a lot of great things to say about his team, especially about Makua Pula. He's a freshman starting on the offensive line. Didn't start the season as a starter for the Highland Hawks, but he's really come into his own over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's been really terrific and has helped this offensive line to get better and better, especially in the last couple of weeks, blocking for Daniel Wood. Wood is a great back, but without good blocking, it doesn't matter how talented of a skill position player you are. You're not going to be able to do much. This offensive line had to replace all 5 starters from a year ago. They've done it so well. Noah Boone has led this group. He got a little bit of experience last year in the Chandler game, and he has been the epitome of consistency out there at that left tackle spot. Makua comes in on that right tackle position, and he has been everything and more, the only freshman that plays on this varsity team, at least in a considerable role.
And Coach Brock Farrell said he's about 2 or 3 inches away from becoming a Pac-12 lineman, and that's really high praise from his coach.
Well, the fact that he's been able to step in at the 6A level, the highest level of competition here in Arizona, as a freshman, and do what he's been able to do, this kid's future is bright if he stays with it.
Coach Farrell said he wanted to give a couple weeks for him to adjust to high school. He's just 15, maybe even 14 years old. That's what Coach Farrell said before the game. He's already getting big minutes here in a top-tier high school atmosphere.
Well, he's 15, 14. It doesn't really matter. He's playing like a grown man right now and has really held down that right tackle position for this offensive line. That's a circus of characters. You've got all the guys on this group. You've got a guy who's a freshman playing big minutes. You've got one of your interior guys in Noah Bent, in Bent, that was playing hockey and golf up into this year before coming into the fold. That's Brigham Bent. None of these guys have played offensive line as starters up until this year, so the fact that they've been able to do what they've done is very impressive.
So Highland will receive the opening kickoff. You saw the ref motion, the catch motion. Highland will defend the north end zone here at Highland High School here this evening. The refs discussing at midfield as Highland is now taken the field. Zane Kopp will kick it away for the Queen Creek Bulldogs, who come in 6-2 on the season. Their quarterback, Devin Brown, will be on the field after the opening Highland drive. Queen Creek's had a pretty good season this year. Their head coach, Joe Germain, reigns a great program. Had a chance to catch up with him before the game. They got a three-prong rushing attack, this Queen Creek team. They do not run the triple option, but they do run a varied offensive scheme that includes a lot of running plays. And here's some trickery from the Queen Creek Bulldogs, running all up to the ball before their kicker goes back. And it's absolutely electric here at Highland Hawks Stadium in the East Valley. 6A high school football. It's Friday Night Lights. We're glad to have you with us. Kick is away. Will be fielded just outside the end zone by True Tanner. Fakes the handoff to Daniel Wood, trying to cut around the outside. There goes True Tanner. Tanner up the near sideline. He's past the 20, and he's up to the 35 before being driven down. Good starting field position for the Hawks.
Well, we've seen this movie before. Highland able to start the game with good field position after a nice return. Looked like it was in trouble there as the Bulldogs rallied down the field. Got a chance to tackle True Tanner inside the 10, but he was able to break away and got some blocks at the sideline to burst all the way up to what it looks like about the 38-yard line.
Tanner, the converted quarterback this season, opened Highland's season. We talked about it earlier with a 95-yard kickoff return touchdown against Alhambra. Single back formation for Taylor Syra. Hands it off up the middle. Daniel Wood barreling forward, falling across the 44-yard line.
I like what they did there, Alex. Highland using True Tanner to motion across the formation to just have some wrinkles. Queen Creek sees that and they freeze for a moment because they don't know who's getting the ball. They've not done much of that this season, but little things like that can turn 3-yard gains into 5, 6, 7-yard gains and maybe even bigger.
Picked up his third 100-yard rushing game of the season last week. Now over 700 yards in the season. Syron's going to throw it here. Hits his receiver, Zach Schroeder, at midfield. Falls out of bounds. And that's Schroeder's first reception of the day. 321 yards coming into tonight for Schroeder in the offense of the Highland Hawks.
Well, and that's what Highland's offense is going to do here tonight with Taylor Syron. They're going to butter the defense up with short stuff, and then they're going to take their shots. It's like a boxer looking for body blows to soften up the defense of the opposing boxer, and then taking the headshot.
Schroeder himself has an offer from Wisconsin River Falls, also visited the University of Arizona. Gives the handoff. There goes Tanner. A little bit of a jet sweep action. He gets across midfield, but only a gain of about 1 yard, or maybe none.
And Highland got away with one there as it looked like Zach Schroeder blocked a guy in the back. A gain of nothing, and again, you saw that play earlier in the drive where they brought Tanner in motion. They didn't give him that time. They call his number, and that's the option it presents, is it gets the defense thinking about that, helps your run game out.
2nd and 10 for the Highland Hawks at the opposing 49-yard line of Queen Creek. Takes the snap, Syra, gives the handoff. Daniel Wood trying to bounce it back, and he's going to be taken down. No spinning, but he still is taken down behind the line of scrimmage at midfield. Will be 3rd and 11.
This offensive line that's been so good as of late, being presented with some problems here on the last couple plays, not able to get much push in the run game.
Highland Hawks is the chant from the Farrell's Fanatic student section. 10 minutes and 12 seconds remaining first quarter. Highland still in the midst of their first drive of the game. 4 receivers set, 3 to the right side, 1 to the left side. He's alone up there on the top of your screen. Siren in the gun. Takes the snap, Siren. Quick 3-step drop, throwing over the middle. He's going deep, and he just missed it.
There's a penalty.
Drew Tanner was wide open, but it went off his hands.
Marker down in the backfield.
I couldn't see it, Peyton. Did Siren get hit?
I'm not
be looking
sure.
at a holding call. Get the call here. We'll be holding against the Highland Hawks. They'll move it back 10 yards. Be 3rd and 21 on the Highland 40-yard line.
That's a play that Tanner needs to make. A little bit behind him, but at any time when you get 2 hands on the football, you probably should catch it, and I know he wants that one back.
Wouldn't have mattered anyway. Queen Creek declines the penalty. It'll be 4th and 11 from midfield.
Jackson Ray will try to coffin corner and pin the Queen Creek offense back.
Ray himself, the number 9 kicker/punter in the Arizona Republic rankings, has had a great season, 17 touchbacks. He's also punted almost 20 times this season.
He is also a junior, so a little bit of time here to grow, get a little bit better before the college recruiting process really takes off next year.
Got an extra point ratio of well over 90%. And it looks like Queen Creek will be whistled for too many men on the field, so 5 yards forward, it's now 4th and 6. Highland will still show punt formation. Jackson Ray's punt is away. Good bounce. Nearly taken it out inside the 10-yard line. Good coverage by the Highland Hawks.
Jackson Ray did a great job there of getting altitude underneath that punt with a little bit of top spin, so it'd take the hop forward. Lands at about the 10. He didn't put his full leg into it, but positioned the ball very well so his coverage unit could get down there and get on top of the football when it inevitably bounced short of the end zone. Fantastic job by Jackson Ray, and what a weapon to have a guy like that.
Looks like Tyler Archibald made the initial stop, the 5'6" senior. A couple of our sponsors out there as the Queen Creek Bulldogs will start their first drive of the game, captained by their quarterback, number 15, Devin Brown. 1 receiver to the far side of your screen, 2 to the near side, 1 in the slot left.
And Queen Creek has played 3 quarterbacks throughout the year, so there could be some alternation at this position throughout the night.
Brown takes the snap out of the gun, hands it off, left side, it's a draw play. Coming around the outside, he's got some space past the 15-yard line and taken down by the linebacking core of the Highland Hawks.
So what Queen Creek likes to do is run a lot of power and ISO concepts between the hashes. What that does for a defense is it gets everybody's eyes trained in the backfield, looking to get ready, get set when the play starts to get downhill to make a play in the run game and try and stop them. What Queen Creek did there was they got to the perimeter quickly and took Highland's defensive aggressiveness and used it against them.
Brown takes the snap. Hits his receiver. That's number 13. Falls across the 25-yard line, almost near the 30. Hunter Barth, the receiver, the 6'2 junior.
Just sat down there about 2 yards short, or 2 yards ahead, of the line of scrimmage. Quick window throw. When you can get the ball out that quickly, the defense isn't always in the right position to make a tackle, so yards after the catch and a first down for the Bulldogs.
Jay Spahn, the running back, to the right side of the quarterback, Devin Brown. Brown fakes the handoff, throws to the right side. He's got his receiver again. That's number 13, Hunter Barth, and he's got a gain.
Queen Creek isn't doing anything too fancy right now. They're just using tempo to get Highland on their heels, and they're executing really strong offensive performance here at the start of this drive to move the ball out from the shadow of their own goal line.
And that's exactly what Coach Brock Farrell for the Highland Hawks has expected. He says he doesn't run a very complicated offense. They focus on a small number of plays, and they run them very well. 8 minutes, 12 seconds left, first quarter at Highland High School. 3 receivers set, 1 in the slot left, 2 out wide. Brown takes the snap, takes the handoff, gets his receiver coming back to it. That's Keyshawn Callum. He'll be taken down and wrapped up by number 18, Amon Allen, coming out of the safety spot. Allen made a nice defensive stop.
A big hit, maybe out of frustration a little bit. As a defensive player, when a team's running tempo like this and having success, it can get kind of annoying, to be quite honest. Let some of that frustration out on that play. Highland defense looks to blitz a lot of the time. What you're seeing the last couple plays with these screens, they're looking to get the ball out quick and make Highland uncomfortable and have to force themselves to stop blitzing.
Will be enough for a first down. So 1st and 10 for the Queen Creek Bulldogs at their own 45. Takes the snap, 2 backs. Takes this handoff, and it's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Jace Bond was going nowhere as Highland broke through the offensive line and made a nice defensive stop.
That, Alex, is the play that Highland needed. Against tempo, plays for negative yardage, force you to stop, actually huddle, and get out of your rhythm. That was a huge snap on a 2nd down, and Highland won that battle.
Cam Cullimore looked to be in on the initial tackle. The junior middle linebacker. He missed the last game, but he's got 50 total tackles this season, not including that one, of course. 6 minutes and 50 seconds remaining first quarter. Single back formation with 3 receivers again. Brown takes the snap. Throws to the right side. It's intercepted! A big pickoff for Highland! And they're going the other way! Tackled at the 40-yard line. Highland will take over. And the interception made by number 8, Robert Kingsford.
Coach Farrell is charged up. He knew exactly how large that play was for his defense. Turned the tide of the game. So the quarterback there just was not on the same page with his receiver. Let it go before the guy got out of his break, and with the defense in zone coverage, the linebacker had his eyes on the quarterback the entire way, read it, jumped it. A nice play for Highland's defense to set this offense up in prime position from the 40.
Runs at 12.24 in the 100 meters. Also runs track, as many of the skilled players do for Highland Hawks. Was a Central Region honorable mention in 2018.
Cover 2 could be a shot play on for Highland with man coverage on the outside.
They like to throw it deep. Siren takes the snap out of the pistol. They'll throw it right over the middle, and they get Daniel Wood inside the 30-yard line. First down, Hawks.
They go quick. That time, actually, Queen Creek dropped into a zone look as the corners pedaled out, but they were able to dump it off to the running back quickly, pick up the first down. Really nice confidence throw for Taylor Siren.
Daniel Wood with the reception there. He gets into the passing game as well, but he's primarily Highland's running back. But any good running back nowadays, they definitely have to be versatile. Max Davis steps in at the first time for the running back spot for Highland. Fakes the handoff, and he tries to get Daniel Wood in the flat, but it's incomplete. Overthrown ball by Siren.
Siren just lost focus for a moment there, didn't step through the throw, but may have actually worked out for the better as it looked like Queen Creek had that covered up. Daniel Wood, with his back turned to the defender, could have taken a hefty shot if he had actually caught that football.
They ran Daniel Wood from left to right out of the slot, trying to hit him in the flat.
This Highland offense doing some stuff pre-snap in terms of their motions and pre-snap alignments that we haven't seen from them all year.
Haven't seen much pistol out of this offense at all this season, really, and they've done it a couple times already today. Doubles to each side for the quarterback. Siren going to motion Daniel Wood back behind the running back. Hands it off. Max Davis wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. And a good defensive play by Queen Creek.
Tremendous piece of open field tackling by Colby Littleton as he broke down the defensive end, shooting off that edge there. Was able to get both arms around the running back. Davis is not an easy tackle, especially when it's mano-a-mano like that. Very impressive job to set up a 3rd and long. See what Highland has in their bag of tricks here.
3rd and 11 from the 29-yard line of the Queen Creek Bulldogs.
Probably just on the fringe of field goal range for Jackson Ray.
Doubles to each side. Schroeder and Tanner to the left side. Siren going to go deep towards the end zone. There he goes, and it's incomplete. Just a tad overthrown by Siren, and Schroeder couldn't get there.
He had him. Maybe a little bit too much air underneath the ball. Schroeder looked up as he ran by his man. A lot of straight cover 2 defense being played by Queen Creek so far. The safety was in the area. I think Schroeder looked up and saw him and just took his foot off the gas for 1 iota. And that was the difference between maybe a completion there and an overshot ball. And they're going to bring Jackson Ray out to kick it from long distance. This is a guy who told our Jack Johnson he can, quote-unquote, hit it from anywhere.
From the 36-yard line, it'll be a 46-yard field goal attempt. 46 in high school. What a bomb that would be. And it's a fake. They pitch it to Jackson Ray, and he's going to hurl it deep towards the end zone. Jump ball, touchdown!
No, he missed it.
I thought he got it. They were trying to hit the tight end. tight end number 81, Chris Alonso. He's a deep threat, and they almost had him.
Jackson Ray actually with a nifty move in the pocket to avoid the sack. He chucked it up there. The DB lost it in the lights, probably just trying to make a play on special teams, and he had his tight end. Just a little bit too much air underneath the pass, and it has been a frantic start to this game as we near the 5-minute mark in the first quarter.
So Queen Creek will start from their own 29-yard line after the missed fake go for it by the Highland Hawks. Brown in the single back formation takes the snap, gives it to the right side to his running back, Jace Bond. Gain of a couple.
Highland with good initial penetration there as guys were able to shuck off their blocks, but Bond able to make an adjustment on the fly and find the hole to get positive yardage. A nice run from him.
It'll be second, maybe 7 or 8 yards. They'll spot it at the 33-yard line. 2nd and 6 for Queen Creek. Takes the snap. It's a high snap for Brown. He's going to have to throw it quickly, and he threw it short of his receiver, Keyshawn Callett, the 170-pound 6-footer.
Well, we said before the game that there was a certain electricity in the air tonight, and it has shown up in the form of sheer chaos so far. A lot of uncharacteristic miscues, a lot of crazy sequences, and we're only about 7 minutes deep into this one.
We got a lot of football to play. We're glad you're with us here on the Highland Hawks TV network. It's going to be a 3rd and 6 from the Queen Creek 33-yard line.
Big third down. We'll see if Highland dials up pressure here in anticipation of a pass. Trips to the bottom of your screen. Maybe some misdirection going on from Queen Creek.
They're going to rush. Throws it quickly to the outside. That's his receiver, Jarrett Bosworth. And he's going to be short of the first down.
Amon Allen again getting his hat in on the play as he stripped the ball out, a fumble that rolled out of bounds. Queen Creek tried to use a pick play there where the receivers on the outside run routes to the inside to run the DBs off and open up space outside the numbers for a guy to run into, but Highland was there to close the door.
Season high 13 tackles for Amon Allen a couple of weeks back at Desert Vista. Had interceptions both of the last 2 weeks before last week.
Man, Alex, these linebackers get more picks than the DBs.
Allen, the starting free safety for the Highland Hawks. Doing a good job back there so far tonight. Punt formation.
Oh!
Punted away, and it's blocked. It's going to be taken at the 25-yard line, and that's where Highland will start. And Coach Farrell, he is pumped up again. Another big stop for the special teams of Highland.
You can't look away from this game for a single play right now, Alex. It feels like every single snap is a twist of the tail. And that block punt, Highland has been able to do that a lot throughout the year. It had been a while, though, since they had gotten home on one of those punt blitzes. This time, they overload the punt protection unit, are able to get there. Set again their offense up in prime scoring position now just on the fringe of the red zone.
So Highland will get another chance here. Single back formation for Taylor Siren with 3 receivers. Drew Tanner in the slot left. Gives it. Trying to get through the middle. Falling forward now. He's still going inside the 15. Daniel Wood up towards the first down marker.
Tremendous vision from Wood as he redirected the route of that run and was able to get in the hip pocket of one of his offensive linemen and follow them up into the second level. Immediate pressure, but with a runner like Wood with a low center of gravity, as I hit on in the pregame, they're able to change direction a little bit easier, get up and get positive yardage like he did there. 2nd and short.
2nd and 1 from the 16-yard line. Siren with 2 receivers, 1 to each side, motioning a tight end to the left side of the line. He's going to be the lead blocker for Daniel Wood, who hits the hole and has a first down. Lead block provided there by number 44, Jaron McGee. He's the 2nd tight end here today for the Highland Hawks. And Coach Brock Farrell said pregame he won the job because of his blocking ability this week.
Insertion into this offensive line late in the season has to be well justified. They'd had some trouble last week with high snaps. They had to move their guard back to center where he had played before the bye week. Now McGee comes into the lineup and they're running right behind him here.
3:45 left first quarter. Highland threatening in the red zone. 2 receivers, 1 to each side for Daniel Wood and Taylor Siren. Wood gets the handoff inside the 10-yard line.
The start of this game has been kind of wild, Alex, and when that happens, oftentimes as a coach, you turn to your best players, and that's certainly Daniel Wood. They're giving him the ball, trying to settle this team down and get Highland into the end zone to capture momentum. They've had plenty of opportunities. They've not been able to do it so far, but behind number 6, Highland has had a lot more offensive success on this drive.
100 yards last week for Daniel Wood. Also had 198 yards and 4 touchdowns against Desert Vista.
He's in the slot now.
Shotgun formation. They're going to motion him back to the backfield. Throw to win the flat now. There goes Daniel Wood trying to cut inside. He is towards the 5-yard line and to be brought out of bounds inside the 5.
Highland had numbers for a moment on the perimeter. Wood just needed slightly better blocking in front of him, and he probably could have gotten that one into the end zone, but a great job by Queen Creek of getting outside, staying home, and not getting beaten there as they make the play and set up a 3rd down.
Third and 1 from the 5-yard line. Goal line look here from Highland. Takes the snap, gives Wood. Wood inside the 5. He might be stopped short. A little bit of extracurriculars after the play with Schroeder there. And the Queen Creek defensive play, that's Peyton Barlow. A couple pushes after, and nothing more.
This is a decision here for Coach Farrell, and it looks like he's bringing the kicker on. Probably to take the points. I don't see him going for a fake field goal in consecutive times, especially considering the last one did not work.
We did. Third, 4th and 3 here from the 5-yard line. I'll say he actually lost maybe a yard on the last play. Jackson Ray is the kicker for Highland with 1 minute 41 seconds on the clock. The kick is away, and the kick is good. 3 points on the board for Highland as they convert the red zone drive into points.
It's not necessarily the result you want, but points are points, and Highland will take it.
And now we'll go down to the 3rd member of our crew, Jack Johnson, on the sidelines. Jack, what you got for us?
Well, the T-shirt guns are going off and the fireworks exploding in the air, but down on the field, it's all been Daniel Wood, number 6. But I want to another player for Highland, guys, that is showed up on off for the first time all season in meaningful minutes. Jaron McGee, number 44, you guys touched on it earlier in the cast. Coach Brock Farrell said he earned this spot. It was not injuries that placed him onto the offensive role. He has earned this spot from his play and practice. He's an undersized guy, but again, he embodies the heart and spirit of the that fights hard and is so disciplined in every game. Jaron McGee, number 44. We'll see if he's able to make an impact on the offensive side tonight as we go back upstairs to you guys.
Jaron McGee, such a talented blocker. He was the lead blocker for Daniel Wood a couple times in that drive. Thanks again, Jack. We'll get back to him a couple more times in the ball game with 1:38 here in the first quarter. Highland got some points on there on the scoreboard page, but probably not in the way they would have liked.
Yeah, Alex, they'll take the field goal, but I'm sure they wanted the touchdown, especially after how that drive started. They take the ball from just outside the 25 and move it pretty effortlessly inside the 10, but are not able to punctuate the drive with 6. This game is very contentious at the moment as these two teams square off. Queen Creek has come in here, has really been able to prove a point that they're able to hang with Highland. First time this year that Highland's not been able to just take control of a game in the opening minutes at home.
Minute and 38 seconds remaining in quarter number 1 here at Highland High School. And we've talked about it a couple times already, Pete, but this has been a pretty crazy first quarter as far as first quarters go.
We've had plenty of plays where you could go back and say, that probably impacted the game. And oddly enough, not many of them have. That block punt facilitates points, but Highland has had plenty of opportunities to score already as they've had the ball in the half of Queen Creek for the majority of this half. Fake field goal didn't work out. You take a gamble early on. We'll see if it comes back to bite them. But Queen Creek has done a good job of coming in here and standing up to Highland in their early onslaught that they've been able to unleash on a lot of teams throughout the year.
Jackson Ray will kick it away. We mentioned he had 17 touchbacks coming into last week's game, now close to 20. We might have a third one here.
It's a live ball.
No, they'll blow it dead.
Ball rolled back into the end zone. I thought maybe because he touched it outside of the end zone, they were going to let him play on, but they ruled a touchback.
They might have said he initially had his left foot in the end zone when he touched it.
It is possible, Alex.
Regardless, the result of the kickoff is a touchback. Jackson Ray with another one. He's got quite a leg. Has range from anywhere. That's what he told our Jack Johnson. 3-0 Highland Hawks, says Devin Brown in the Queen Creek offense back on the field now.
Be great for Queen Creek to be able to strike quickly here and recapture the momentum heading into the second quarter.
Hands off to the running back, Jace Bond. No dice. Highland stops that at the line of scrimmage.
Highland is settled in there in the A gap, B gap, that area in the middle of the field, defending the run. A little bit shaky to start the game, but these linebackers are now playing downhill without any caution, throwing caution to the wind and sticking their nose in the fan to make a couple plays here the last couple times out on defense.
A minute and 5 seconds remaining first quarter. Bond to the backfield, the only running back there. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right side for the quarterback, Devin Brown. Brown, the 6'2 sophomore. Motions a man, fakes the handoff once, now gives it. Bond across the 24-yard line up near the 25.
Bond got picked up and set down there hard as 3 Highland helmets were at the ball to make that play. Those linebackers again getting involved.
Second level for the Highland Hawks defense is just so experienced and so good. They've got Robert Kingsford. He made the pick earlier on in the ball game, his first of the season. Carson Allen's the JV quarterback. Started his first game this season at JV quarterback. He's one of those talented linebackers as well. Teague Treese back from an injury a couple weeks ago. And then, of course, Daniel Wood is playing both ways. And we can't forget about Cam Cullimore. 8 seconds to go. This will be the last play of the first quarter. Brown almost taken down again and hit hard as the receiver made the catch, though, is number 13 for the Queen Creek Bulldogs. That's Hunter Barth.
Barth has had some success out of the slot so far, his second catch, and that is a big one as it moves the chains and moves us into the second quarter as Queen Creek is on the move.
The end of one quarter here at Highland High School. The Hawks 3, the Bulldogs 0. We'll be right back with you on the Highland Hawks TV network. Howdy, hey, back with you here for the second quarter at Highland High School in Gilbert. 3-0 Hawks after a quarter of play. 12 minutes are on the scoreboard. And not a great start necessarily for the Highland Hawks in the second quarter, Peyton.
Well, this Queen Creek team has come into this building here tonight and proven that they belong on this field with Highland. They have been pretty good by all accounts through 12 minutes of play. Now they find themselves in a battle in the second quarter. Let's see what they can do.
Brown takes the snap, hands it off. Falling forward across the 35-yard line. That's the running back, number 33, Peyton Barlow. Barlow also starts at free safety for the Queen Creek Bulldog defense.
Well, Highland on that last snap got immediate pressure. Both defensive ends bent the edge and got in, but overran the running back on the designed run A lot of times the defense can fall apart when something like that happens, but the linebackers, again, save the day as a player there in the middle able to make a strong tackle in open space.
This Queen Creek team with 4 players with at least 200 rushing yards, and he's one of them. Wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, a really good defensive play by Highland. It's Daniel Wood in there, along with Kyle Olson, number 90 up front.
Well, Robert Kingsford didn't make that play, literally, but he made that play. He bends the edge, occupies the left tackle, and prevents them from blocking the other linebackers on the linebacker blitz. They overloaded that left side. He got in there, got underneath, got good leverage on the tackle, was able to force the running back to cut back to his friends in black for the tackle for loss, and it sets up a 3rd and long. Highland with a great chance to get off the field.
3rd and 7 from their own 33-yard line.
Pressure coming.
Devin Brown takes the snap. Highland rushing, gives it off to Bond. Bond out there on the outside. He's got a 1st down and more up past the 45-yard line. A great 3rd down run from the running back, Chase Bond.
Well, Highland brought pressure, and Queen Creek ran away from it, going to the left side as Wood shot in from the left. They were able to get to the edge, and it was a demolition on the outside as those wide receivers did a great job of blocking for the running back. They get the 1st down.
1st down for Queen Creek as they look to get across midfield for, I believe, the 1st time in this ball game. Their quarterback, Devin Brown's already thrown an interception here today, but he's had a couple of really nice completions.
See if they trust him to throw the ball again here on a 1st and 10.
3 receivers, high snap, hands it off Bond. Bond taken down behind the line. A huge stand-up tackle by Daniel Wood.
And again, for this Queen Creek offense, you don't want to be chasing the chains. On 1st down, you want 3-4 yards to set yourself up in manageable situations for the next 2 downs. Now they're in 2nd and long after the tackle for loss. They've really got to execute here on the next 2 plays.
Wood over 20 solo tackles this season for the Highland Hawks. He was a 6A All-State linebacker last season. Has 2 Division I offers at the moment from NAU and Drake. Full rides as well.
Really smart kid, 4.5 GPA.
9:25 left in the 2nd quarter. Taking a shot here across the middle, and it's picked off again by Highland. Cam Cullimore for the Highland Hawks, and it's the 2nd one of the day for Brock Farrell's team. He just cut the route off again, and Highland's pumped.
In games like this, tough physical battles, if you can win the turnover battle, you're going to be in a good spot. Really not a great throw there by the quarterback for Queen Creek. Airmailed it, eyed his receiver the whole way. And the player for Highland was able to jump underneath and pick that one off. Not a great sequence there for Queen Creek as Hunter Barth was the intended target.
Robert Kingsford nabbed the 1st for Highland on the outside linebacking position. And now in the middle of the field, Cam Cullimore makes a play up the middle.
Highland with plenty of chances so far. Let's see if they can capitalize.
Siren takes the snap out of the single back, fakes the handoff. They're going to take a shot downfield here. No, here goes Siren up the near sideline. He's got a near the 1st down mark. He'll run out of bounds around the 40-yard line.
Very great play from Siren there. He saw Schroeder cutting on the post, wide open, redirected his eyes from the deep ball that he was looking for True Tanner on. He was about to let it go, but he saw that the window was closing, and instead of forcing it in there like most young quarterbacks would, he took off and used his legs to get positive yards.
Siren, the 6'2" junior, pretty smart guy as well. Brock Farrell said they didn't change the base offense too much as they're going to take a shot downfield here. It took way too long for the receiver, Zach Schroeder.
Well, the receiver's not getting it. As a quarterback, you want to make sure nobody does. That throw just gave Schroeder a chance to maybe make a play, but if he didn't, the DB wasn't going to as he skied it out of bounds. You're already in 2nd and short. You're kind of playing with house money there as you think you can pick up this 3rd and 2 on the next play, so you just chuck it up there and see what happens. Live to fight another down, and that's exactly what Taylor Siren has done. It's 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2 as Highland looks for the 1st down. Siren takes the snap, hands it off Max Davis, his 1st carry of the day. He falls towards the 38-yard line. He might have enough for the 1st down. No signal yet. Davis part of that 1-2 rushing attack for Highland. They'll give him the 1st.
Davis with the extra stick-to-itiveness. At the end of that run, contacted behind the sticks by maybe an inch or 2, was able to fight forward and fall forward for the yards needed for the 1st. And Highland again, marauding up the field. Let's see if they're able to do anything with this drive.
Davis, the second running back behind Daniel Wood, has almost 400 yards this season. Hits his receiver, Zach Schroeder. Schroeder up near the 30-yard line. Short of a first down, but a good gain on first down for Highland.
Really like that play call from Brock Farrell. The last couple times that Highland has thrown the ball, they've looked deep. These DBs are starting to play off. That time, Schroeder breaks the route off in front of the DB, and Siren gets the ball out on time for an easy completion on the hitch route.
Yeah, he made that really easy for Taylor Siren. Really good route run there by Zach Schroeder. Got the school record in 300 hurdles. Got great breakaway speed. Siren throws it, post route, and it's incomplete.
True Tanner on the seam there. Kennedy motioned across the formation and ran an out, which drew the DBs up for just a half second as they closed on him, which opened the window to throw to True Tanner in the middle of the field. Siren maybe a little bit excited to make that play, didn't set his feet and sailed it.
8 minutes, 4 seconds remaining, second quarter. There's a helicopter flying over the field here in Gilbert. Davis, the running back, takes the snap, hands it off, and it jumped the route. That was a good play defensively. I believe that was number 13.
Hunter Barth. Again.
Barth.
It's been a big play today. Hunter Barth has made it for Queen Creek, and on fourth and short, fourth and medium after the tackle for loss, Highland may stick with the offense out here and go for this.
Barth, one of many players for the Queen Creek Bulldogs, playing both ways tonight. Hunter Barth playing both ways.
Well, and Barth knew what was coming there, as on the safety blitz, he was able to run himself right into the path of the run play and make the stop.
Peyton Barlow also playing both ways tonight for Queen Creek, as well as the left tackle and defensive end, Isaiah Glass. So it'll be 4th and 2. Timeout Highland.
Highland wanted to run the clock all the way out and then talk this one over. Again, this is on the perimeter of the range of Jackson Ray, enough so that they felt like they could use it as a decoy to run an actual fake kick on the last time out. So we'll see if they trust him to kick it here, or if they just choose to leave the offense out, or if they'd rather get the field position and try and punt and keep this ball out of the end zone, prevent a touchback. Highland were to punt and have a touchback, you only gain about 10 yards of field position. As a coach, that kind of incentivizes a gamble from you, potentially going for it.
Would be about a 44-yard field goal from Jackson Ray. They were going to attempt it from 46 earlier on in the ball game.
Well, and there's multiple persuasions of thought on this play. Because in one way, if you go for it on fourth, you trust your team. As you trust your defense, if your offense doesn't get it, to make the stand they need to make to prevent Queen Creek from scoring. And if you leave your offense on the field, that's a clear show of trust in your 11 guys on the offensive end of the ball. But also, if you don't get this, that's your second gamble now in plus territory that doesn't work out. If you take enough of those shots, your team starts to kind of get down on themselves if they can't execute. So this is a big play here in terms of morale and momentum.
7 minutes, 15 seconds remaining. 4th and 2 from the 29-yard line of Queen Creek. Siren takes the snap. They're going for it. Throws it. It's complete for the first down. That's Zach Schroeder. Money.
Easy throw for Siren as Schroeder ran another great route to move the sticks for the second time on this drive. Siren could have picked his poison there. Running lanes open for him to take off for the first down, but he sticks to his guns and fires one into a tight window for Schroeder for an easy pickup.
So Schroeder will run to the other side of the field now on the top of your screen in a trips formation to the right side of the quarterback, Taylor Siren. Takes the snap, Siren. He's looking towards him. Fakes it. Throws it in the flat. It's intercepted. Siren was throwing on the move, and it's intercepted by Queen Creek. Big play there from number 20, Amon Neville.
Well, Taylor Siren has started the last 2 games, and that's the first big mistake he's made. Immediate pressure there from him forced him out of the pocket. And when he got out there, it kind of looked like he didn't have a plan. He let his eyes drop. He had guys running open downfield, but forced it to his check down, and it results in an interception. Big turn in this game as Queen Creek is able to prevent Highland from scoring points once more and stays within one score.
So it's about as good as a touchback as Queen Creek will start from their own 21-yard line. Devin Brown in the shotgun, takes the snap, pressured behind.
Oh!
And it's an interception again for Highland. It's a pick six for Kyle Olsen. Touchdown Hawks.
Big Dog's got to eat.
Number 3 on the day for Highland. That's their 3rd interception in the first half, and they're pumped.
As a defensive end, you get so many chances in your career to make a play like that. The ball thrown right to him after the pressure on the quarterback. And after the interception, the defense says to their QB, Taylor Siren, don't worry, fella, we got you. They come up huge and provide the first touchdown of the day.
Kyle Olsen has checked a number of boxes this season. Got a safety tackle against Skyline earlier on this season against quarterback Blake Roebuck. Also recovered a fumble against Mountain Point. And now he gets an interception return for a touchdown here against Queen Creek.
Checking off the bingo card, and Highland has finally broke the seal with 6 points, make it 7.
And maybe that's the spark Highland needs to really get their offense going. A defensive score for the Highland Hawks. It's 10-0 with 8 minutes left in the second quarter.
This game has been absolutely wild already. 4 interceptions between the two teams. The way this one's going, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more shenanigans as this one progressed.
This has been a crazy game to say the least. 3 interceptions already for the Highland Hawks defense, 2 from the linebackers, and now the first one from Kyle Olsen up front, the defensive line. What do you want to talk about? Can you talk about the defense, 3 interceptions, or something along those lines? Now we'll send it down to the 3rd member of our crew. That's Jack Johnson. He's sidelines. He's been watching all 3 interceptions down there. Peyton, Jack, what you got?
Well, Alex, I'll tell you what. I've been down on the sideline for all 3 interceptions, just like you mentioned. That one by Kyle Olsen. Even though Kyle Olsen finished off the touchdown with the pick 6 there, that play was set up by number 18, safety for Highland, Dawson White. Or Eamon Allen, excuse me. And Eamon Allen came on a free blitz there up the center, unblocked. It forced the quarterback for Queen Creek to really double guess his thought process there. He ended up throwing an ill-advised pass, ended up in the arms of number 90 Kyle Olsen into the house. Of course, at the half, we're going to talk to Coach Brock Farrell. One of the things I'm going to ask him, even though their offense hasn't been clicking very well, Taylor Sirens looked a little out of whack as of this current moment. They're still up 10-0, and it's a big deal because of the way this defense has played tonight, their entire team. On the defensive side, Alex, they've been absolutely stout. They're the reason that Highland's up 10-0 right now. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Jack, and it's great analysis on the field down there as always. Amon Allen providing the pressure. It forced quarterback Devin Brown to throw his 3rd interception of the first half, and Highland has made him really work for every single completion this ball game.
Well, with the way things are going, could be only a matter of time until we get the hook here from this young quarterback, as he has really struggled so far back there in the pocket. Devin Brown got to tighten things up.
Kickoff, fielded at about the 5-yard line. We will have a return, breaks the tackle and breaks through. That's the receiver, Keyshawn Callett. 6', 170. Has good speed. He had a good burst of speed through the middle there.
Queen Creek, I'm sure they'll take every yard, every blade of grass that they can get right now to help their quarterback who's struggling at the moment. 3 picks, confidence rattled, have to have a short-term memory, come back out. In terms of momentum, in terms of confidence in the team wearing white right now, they need a long drive and they need points.
It is Devin Brown at quarterback. Out of the gun, takes the snap, hands it off Bond. Bond to the outside. This is the play that's worked for them a number of times today, and it will get him about 8 on 1st and 10.
Bond running hard, doing his part. Not the first good run we've seen from him tonight, as he's able to get outside the hashes, outside the numbers, get into space. A lot of room to operate there on the left sideline. He picks up 7. But this offense, they're going to have to find a way to get the passing game going, because if you're one-dimensional, especially as a running team, things get so much harder.
Second and 3 from the 42-yard line. It'll be wrapped up right around the line of scrimmage.
This offensive line playing a game of whack-a-mole right now. They know pressure's coming. It's coming from one of the linebackers or one of the safeties. They know that much. They just don't know where right now, and Highland's been able to get the jump on a lot of these plays.
Zach Malizia making the play. There's 5'11" sophomore. It's now a third down plan for this Highland defense. 3rd and 2 from the 42-yard line. 2 backs behind the quarterback, Brown. Brown takes the snap, hands it off to the fullback. Right near the first down marker, and a push back at the end from the Highland defense. Did they stop him?
It's going to be very close, but I think he might have got it with the second push.
Number 42, Damon Cornett. It's spotted right at the 45-yard line. It'll be enough for a first down. Chains move.
On the year, Brown has thrown 4 picks. He's thrown 3 in this game already, so this offensive coaching staff has chosen to get behind the big boys and run the football. If Queen Creek can pick up 3 yards each play, math suggests they will score every single time. 3 yards on each play yields a first down each time, which will yield a touchdown each time. That's what this offense has been able to accomplish on the last couple snaps.
Single back formation, 3 receivers, 1 in the slot right, takes the snap, hands it off. There goes Bond. Bond taken down behind the line of scrimmage. It's another great play from the Highland Hawks defense. Cam Cullimore was in there.
Bond can only do so much. He made one guy miss there, but he's fighting a tidal wave at the moment as Highland, all 11 players come crashing to the ball yet again. And Bond, even though he's making the first guy miss a lot of times, has not been able to stretch these runs into very profitable gains for this offense.
Forward progress has him a gain for 1 yard, so it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 46-yard line. Queen Creek Bulldogs in a single back set, 3 receivers, same as last time. Allen flushed out of the pocket, rolling out right side, throwing it. It's out of bounds. Was looking for his receiver number 2, Jake Whitaker.
First time we've really seen a straight drop tonight for Allen. But after the incompletion, he is in a tough situation as Highland, with 9 yards to play with here on a 3rd down, probably going to pin their ears back and bring pressure.
They've done it so often and so effectively in this first half. 4 minutes, 13 seconds remaining. It'll be a 3rd and 9 play from the 46. Got to get to the Highland 45. Same formation. Bond goes to the left side of the quarterback, Brown.
Highland playing single high safety right now, daring Queen Creek to throw.
Throws it. He's got a first down. Big play, big reception, and a big first down for the Queen Creek Bulldogs. Trey Reynolds makes the play.
That's actually a great play by Brown, Alex. Scanned the field, set his feet, and delivered into the window in the coverage. Allowed his receiver to turn upfield, turn those pads, and make the play himself for the first down.
And Reynolds himself plays the other way as well. He's the middle linebacker for this Bulldog defense. A 6'2 junior. Big boy, 225. 3:50 left, first half. Brown takes the snap, going to take a deep shot down the field. It's tipped up in the air and nearly intercepted once again by the Highland Hawks defense.
Crushing blow by Amon Allen, who has been playing everywhere here tonight, and there's a player down for Queen Creek. That's Hunter Barth.
The receiver intended on the play was Barth, and he'll get attended to by the Queen Creek trainers. Teams will go to the sidelines for the moment. Got hit pretty hard on that play by the safety, Amon Allen.
Allen rolling down with a free shot as all of Barth's attention was focused on catching that football. He did not let anything go. He unloaded on the receiver, who was defenseless in the air.
We don't have the benefit of replay, Peyton. Didn't look like there was any intent or...
Bang, bang play. I don't think anything nasty there, but fortunately Barth coming up on the wrong end of that hit, and he's still down on the field. Hopefully he's all right.
So Bar still being attended to as play stops momentarily here in the second quarter with 3:44 left. Still a close game. 2-score ball game here. We get a couple of our sponsors up. Nathan Davis Orthodontics, Arizona Granite Connection. Edu Points, Jamarca. A couple of our great sponsors here, also Legacy Funeral Home. Evans Dove, Nelson Fish, and Greer. A couple more of our platinum sponsors, Carnswire, Raising Cane's, the Buffalo Spot. They got world famous buffalo fries. Did you know that, Peyton?
I did not.
Ellsworth Home Services as well. Got a lot of good food spots in our sponsors. Go check them out. Thank you again to all of them for their support of Highland Hawks football.
And the player that was down, Hunter Barth, able to get back up. Hopefully, after that shot to the chest, it was just the wing getting knocked out there. Nothing too severe.
So good to see Hunter Barth walking off the field under his own power. Being helped out a little bit by the trainers. Wish him the best. Injuries are never fun, Peyton. Not for your team, not for the other team, not for any team.
You never want to see it, especially at this level.
Exactly how we felt last week when Tanner Crandall had his shoulder dislocated. He might be back for the playoffs, Highland Hawk fans. Second and 10 from the 33. Almost intercepted again, coming up on it. That was Dawson White, number 19.
Receiver was open as they attacked. Another zone coverage look from Highland. Guy running across the field into a pocket of space, and the quarterback, Brown, just needs to step and drive that ball. Kind of aimed it and misses receiver consequently. Another 3rd and long. See what Queen Creek has in their bag of tricks.
Queen Creek's been pretty good on 3rd and long so far. Got a couple 3rd and longs converted for first downs. We'll see what they draw up here. Jay Spuds, the running back, to the left side of the quarterback. Kevin Brown in the gun. 3 receivers to the right. Play whistle, Dent. And it'll be a false start.
This crowd here, everybody wearing black on the near sideline, was making a lot of noise, and I think it might have affected the offense there.
3 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. So still plenty of time for football here. Top left of your screen, got to look at the Queen Creek head coach, Joe Germain. 6-2 on the season. And he runs a great ship up there in Queen Creek. Big 3rd down coming. 3rd and 15 from the 38-yard line. Brown takes the snap of the gun, throws to his receiver in the flat. That's Jace Bond falling forward past the 30-yard line. He'll be short of the 1st down.
A little truncated wheel route out into the flat. Quarterback saw the pressure coming and decided to dump it out quick. It makes this 4th down. They choose to go for it, a lot more manageable. And it looks like it's within the realm of the imagination of this coaching staff as they've got something drawn up.
Be 4th down and 5 from the 38. Got to get to the 33.
There was no real doubt about it. The play call was in quickly.
Rather, it'll be 4th and 6 yards from the 29-yard line. Scoreboard changing here at Highland.
A monumental play here in the first half.
They've got to get to the 23-yard line. Shotgun formation with 2 receivers stacked to the left of the quarterback, Brown. Someone jumped.
That's got to be on Queen Creek as the receiver started running his route on the count of 1. Now, Queen Creek is claiming that the play was drawn offside by a defensive movement, but you would rarely, if ever, see that on a defensive player with a receiver, but they're going to call encroachment. I have never seen that called.
So it'll still be 4th down after the 5-yard penalty, but it'll be a much, much more manageable 4th and 1.
I have never seen encroachment called on a defensive back like that. Huge decision by the officials.
So you'll see some substitutions there. Bringing in their tight end. Isake Tuavio.
A little bit of exercise coming on for Highland as well as the big man, number 79, Jesse Diulo, 6'4", 270, comes in to clog up the middle, try and shorten the field on a 4th and inches.
DeLulo, the nose tackle. 2 backs. Gives the handoff, pushing forward right near the 1st down marker. Queen Creek thinks they have it.
I think he got it too.
Ground goes silent here. Highland still pleading for a turnover on downs. No signal yet from the referees, but it'll be spotted right at the 23-yard line.
I think we could get a measurement here.
I think they're going to measure.
It was very close.
That's about as close as you get.
Bond burst through a little hole. There was a big collision at the line. It looked like Highland was getting the initial push, but a late effort by the 5 guys up front.
We will get a measurement.
For Queen Creek allowed Bond to surge up and get to the line of scrimmage. He was met right at the marker, but I think he fell forward and carved out the space he needs, but the measurement will tell all.
So here comes the measurement. I've not seen this much in high school football. They will give him the first down.
By just about the nose of the football.
On half of football there, as you get a great look from our sideline camera. Ethan Ryder filling in today. Highland doesn't like it, but it did look like he had a good push. That wasn't a bad spot.
The Highland players that aren't happy with that ruling, get angry and go make a play about it.
So DeLulo off for the moment after that 4th down play. Onai West up there as a defensive end for Highland. Daniel Wood showing blitz. Takes the snap in the single back formation, dropping back, throwing over the top, and it's a bit too long for the receiver, number 10, Trey Reynolds.
Brown saw the cornerback pedal out and then bite on the flat route. Thought his tight end might be open on the delayed flag out to the corner. Fortunately for him, about 3 Highland players read it and got there to make sure that ball was incomplete.
2 minutes and 1 second on the clock here. It's been a pretty slow second quarter, Peyton, compared to the pace of the first quarter.
Feels like it's just been about 2 drives the entire length of this period.
3 receivers, trips to the right. Brown takes the snap, gives the handoff to number 33, Peyton Barlow. The ball is out. It's out of bounds. I think it's going to be staying the same way towards Queen Creek. He fumbled and it went right out of bounds after a couple yards falling forward. It might end up being a gain of yards here for the Queen Creek Bulldogs.
Finally a lucky break for Queen Creek as they avoid crisis as that ball is able to teeter out of bounds before Highland could get on top of it. Actually turned out well for Queen Creek as it squirted forward and picked them up about 3 or 4 more extra yards.
Clock stopped at 1:54. Running back is still number 33.
High formation.
Taken down behind the line of scrimmage on a big 3rd and 4. And another 4th down coming for Queen Creek.
When the offense lines up in I form, it's usually going to be a who wants it more type of play. That was the case, and the answer was Carson Allen.
Peyton Barlow couldn't break through the line. Carson Allen has been off and on the starting lineup this season. Played his first game earlier this season at quarterback on the JV team, and he also wrestles as well. Cousin to Cam Kilmore.
So far, Jace Bond has been the source of offense in the running game, but he's not out here on this 4th down. Queen Creek takes a timeout. I'm fascinated to see whether or not he's on the field for this next play.
So another big play coming here, another big chance for the Highland defense to step up, and they've had to make so many big plays in this first half already. Do they have another one in the Peyton?
Well, that's the question that we're waiting to have answered, Alex, and this defense, the way they've been able to shoot gaps in the run game with their linebacker blitzing, they've been living and dying by it, and I expect them to do it here. Will Queen Creek's coaching staff be able to identify where the blitz is coming from and compensate for it? That's going to be the question that defines whether this play is successful or not.
Minute 20 left. Big 4th down coming. Queen Creek and Highland, we're glad to have you with us here in the East Valley. Viewers from all over the country this season, we're thankful for every one of them, Peyton. They're about to witness a big play here at the end of the first half. Queen Creek will set up in field goal formation. So they've gone for it a number of times as they get a last-second substitution up near the line. Kicker Zane Kopp. From 32 yards out, the kick is up, that has the distance, and it is through the uprights. Great kick from Zach Kopp.
The way that Queen Creek had moved the ball this drive, I thought they might go for it on that 4th and short. Said they trust the kicker, and he's able to get it off just in time as Highland got penetration and almost got home to block that kick.
Top the 5'8" senior, has some experience. He puts Queen Creek on the board here at the end of the first half.
So Queen Creek is able to come back and win this game on the road. I would have to say you circle that field goal and whatever happens in the next minute and 16 seconds as what turned the tide of the game. Queen Creek gets the ball to start the second half. The fact that they've had 3 interceptions in this tough road environment and they're still in the football game within 1 score, if they're able to keep it that way before the intermission, they have to feel really good about what's going on.
Yeah, that's just hard to believe, Peyton. When have you ever seen a defense get 3 interceptions in a single half and a team not be able to capitalize that much?
And a pick 6.
Actually, I can tell you, last week in Utah, ASU football, 4
Let's not bring that back up.
4 takeaways in the single game, 3 total points off of them, and 3 of them were inside the other team's 50-yard line.
That ain't great. And if you win the turnover battle but you can't capitalize, it's almost a net negative because of what it does to your team's overall morale.
Minute 16 seconds left to work with. The kick is away from Kopp. Will be fielded inside the 5-yard line. Drew Tanner.
Big hole.
Has some space, past the 30-yard line, and a good starting field position again for the Highland Hawks.
Could have been a lot worse for Queen Creek. A player in a purple helmet and white jersey was able to shoot in there and force Tanner to redirect from the space that he was about to run into. Otherwise, that could have been big problems. Drew Tanner has that capability to break one off, and now he's had 2 30-plus yard returns. Really starting to feel himself. Highland with 1:09 to work with. 1 timeout. We'll see how much of a leash is on Taylor Siren.
17 receptions on the season
Screenplay.
coming in today for
blockers.
There he goes.
He's gone.
Daniel Wood inside the 20. He goes into the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown Hawks.
Could see it from a mile away. They stuck the running back out on the screenplay, and they answer right back. This offense had been stagnant, but just like that, a lightning bolt for a long 60-plus yard scoring toss. Siren to Wood. Touchdown number 18 on the year for number 6.
He's averaging over 10.1 yards per rush this season. Peyton, I think that'll move up a little bit after that last play.
He's able to catch that one, set up the blockers in front. The timing on that play was perfect, immaculate. As Siren waited out the defensive line, waited for them to get in his face, and as the PAT is up and good, he's able to dump it off over everybody's head. They play a trick, a nasty one, on Queen Creek with the screenplay as the big guys got out in front, licked their lips, blocked some smaller guys, and Daniel Wood took it to the house.
You know, we always talk about this, Peyton, but what a play design there to set up with the blockers. They hit him in the flat, and he's just going to go all the way because they set up all of the blockers right there in front of him on the left side.
Simple play. Coach Brock Farrell doing nothing that you wouldn't see in a video game like Madden or NCAA. A very standard play in the playbook of most teams, but when he can coach his team to the level of execution that you saw on that last snap, you're going to get good results, and that's what happened.
4 lead blockers on that one at least.
And when Siren's able to stand in there in the face of pressure like that and not be phased and deliver the ball exactly where it needed to be, when it needed to be there, it's poetry in motion. Highland takes it to the house and expands their lead. Now back up to 14 after their defense surrendered the field goal only moments ago.
.57 seconds remaining. Now becomes the question, Peyton, how much time does Queen Creek have now? What do they have in them here at the end of the first half? Because I don't think they would have expected another drive with at least a minute on the clock.
Well, it's a run-first offense, Alex, as we let this kickoff play out.
Jace Bond trying to hit the outside. He's got a pretty good return up there towards the 35-yard line. And a good starting field position again now for both teams.
Well, the reason I stopped for a moment was to let that kickoff play out because it was going to answer the question for me. Instead of saying it myself, that was what I needed to see. So Queen Creek now with positive field position. They get the ball at the 40-yard line. That opens things up for them. They've got 3 timeouts and 43 seconds left, but their quarterback has struggled to throw the football and not throw interceptions. That's what they have to avoid. That is the worst possible outcome, the darkest timeline for this offense right now. They cannot turn it over. But now with a pretty good start and time to work with, they can run the football and actually use their running back. So we may see that here.
Bond to the right side of Devin Brown. Brown pressured in the pocket. Hits his receiver, and he's going forward towards the 50. That's number 10, Trey Reynolds again. He's been fantastic in the first half.
Trey Reynolds on the tunnel screen is able to burrow forward but not get the first down, so the clock runs.
Clock runs, 30 seconds remaining now. Queen Creek trying to hurry up.
I would have used the timeout. A lot of time running off here. You've got all 3. Why not use them?
Watch Keyshawn count the receiver to the near side, and someone
runs
moves.
offside.
Highland fans rather think it was a false start. Teams are moving backwards.
Queen Creek gets a 10-yard pickup, or they're about 9 on that play to move it to the 50. Now they're moving back. But I don't see with 3 timeouts, if the guy didn't get to the first down marker, why you wouldn't call the timeout. You let 30 seconds run off the clock, and it's still running. All 3 timeouts in the holster of this coaching staff, and they've not called it. 14 seconds, they're going to give themselves 1 play.
3 receivers now. This could be the last play of the first half. It likely will be. 8 seconds left. It's nearly intercepted at the line of scrimmage. Kyle Olson almost had his second pick. That might have been Monai West.
So I spoke too soon. Enough time to get another snap off, but for no reason, you pretty much just ended the half. You could have rode this out. You just got gut punched on the last drive as Highland was able to score immediately after you clawed yourself back into the game with a long touchdown. You get the nice return. You set yourself up in good position for what?
.6 seconds remaining. 3rd and 6 from the 49. Single back formation. They're going to hand it off. Running through the middle with a burst of speed, Jace Bond. He gets the first down. Clock will stop momentarily with 2.4 seconds remaining. Now 1.6 on the clock. And there
now
it
the
goes.
Clock's running.
Clock runs after the first down chains move. No timeout called by Queen Creek. Clock goes. That's how the first half will end. A big end of the half for the Highland Hawks. Sees them go up 17-3 at the end of 2 quarters of play. Highland 17, Queen Creek 3. We'll be right back with you for the second half. Peyton and Alex will take it home.
All right, we caught up with Coach Brock Farrell. And, Coach, you guys started... All right, we had caught up with Coach Brock Farrell. And, Coach, you guys started off a little bit sluggish, but then got things going, specifically the catalyst, your defense. And Kyle Olson, a big pick six there at the end. But that was all set up by your pressure from the secondary and Eamon Allen. So you wanted to blitz, you wanted to get pressure on the quarterback. Do you feel like you succeeded at that?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Taylor's dialing it up, man. I love that if we're going to go down, we're going to go down swinging, but our defense is playing awesome right now.
Your quarterback, Taylor Siren, he made a couple of mistakes, but also just how much of a luxury is it to have Daniel Wood on this offense?
Oh, he's awesome. I mean, you throw a screen, he takes it 60, you know what I mean? Like, he's a quarterback's friend. So, I think Taylor's going to settle down, make some good throws. Finally threw a pick. It happens. Now he can breathe a sigh of relief. Throw a pick. Okay, let's move on.
Exactly. And then your message to the team in the locker room for the second half. What are your goals for the second half?
Our goals are going to be on defense to do the exact same thing. On offense, Queen Creek's been playing a lot of two-way guys, and they've been playing really well. But we need to finish the physicality in the third quarter, and I think we'll come away with a win.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Brock Farrell, his team's up 17-3 right now as we go back up to you guys.
Thank you, Jack. We'll check back in with him periodically throughout the second half. But at the end of 2 quarters of play, Highland 17, Queen Creek 3. We'll be right back on the Highland Hawks TV Network.
My grandpa.
My uncle.
Probably my dad. Reggie Lewis. My dad. Probably my dad.
Probably my dad.
My mom.
My dad. My mom.
My uncle.
My dad.
My dad.
My dad.
Adam Thielen.
My dad.
My dad.
My brother. My dad.
Brian Bosworth.
My mom.
My dad.
My dad.
Superman.
My dad.
Probably my dad.
Burritos. Sushi. Pizza.
Chicken.
Cheeseburgers.
Hot wings.
Orange chicken.
Chicken. Costco hot dog. Chipotle.
Wings.
Pizza.
Chicken Alfredo. Barbecue pork chops. Street tacos.
Steak.
Wings.
Everything.
Steak.
Chicken wings.
Broccoli casserole. Cheeseburgers.
Pizza.
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 Hamburgers.
Pizza.
Because I love scoring touchdowns.
Just the brotherhood. Because I like to hit people.
Love to hit people.
For the clout.
Just like playing with my brothers and just having a good time.
It gives me a chance to hit someone.
I love to play with my friends.
I like to hit.
Physicality of the sport.
I just played it ever since I was little, and I love the game. No reason, I just like it.
We can unite as a brotherhood.
Experience and the time you get to spend with friends.
The family bond.
It's in my blood.
Because I love to hit people and have some fun.
I get the ball out with my brothers.
To come out here with the boys and compete
for the brotherhood.
It's a big brotherhood, and we all get along really well together, and we all play really well together.
So I get to play with my best friends.
The competitiveness.
It gives me a chance to hit somebody.
I like hitting people. I like playing with my brothers and my friends.
Woo-hoo.
We are back with you here at Highland High School. Now we're going to go on to the third member of our crew, Jack Johnson, who is with Brendan Larson, Highland's athletic director.
Well, I'm with that athletic director for Highland, Brandon Larson. And Brandon, first off, it's very good to have you back. But second, what a festivity this has been to have homecoming again. The student section full, the crowd full, the band playing, and the parade going on. Just tell me a little bit about what the festivities are going on around here and some of the things under the surface that we may not even notice.
I mean, these events are pretty incredible. There's a lot of people put a lot of time and effort. StuCo's actually, student government is behind a lot of this stuff. So I know they put the fireworks together, they put the parade together. This morning we had our homecoming assembly out here in the stadium. Our principal flew in a helicopter, and so it's pretty neat to have that out there. The kids love it. Just put that kind of excitement back into them. I've been gone for 2 weeks dealing with some family issues, but just the admin team and a lot of people have stepped up and just kind of put this thing all together. But there's great people here. There's great people that work here. A lot of people don't get credit. My assistant, Miss Haro, she's basically the athletic director anyways. So just love and appreciate everybody for what they've done. But yeah, no, the festivities here are great.
You mentioned you've been away for 2 weeks. What has the community response been like for your family? I mean, how much have you felt the love and support of the Highland Hawks, the entire community?
It's been amazing. Obviously it was a tragedy what happened to my son. We love him, miss him, but to have a community like we have to come out and do the things that they've done for our family is just incredible. We've got cards, we've gotten calls, we've gotten texts. The student section leaders, there's 4 kids that I have a relationship with that they even sent me a card. So it's made something that's been really hard on our family just a little bit easier, just because of the love and support we've had from this community. So I think that the good Lord set us up to where we could be here and knowing that we would need the support when this happened. So
when you took over the job, is this where you expected to be, a year, 2 years into the job, where you've developed a sports program here that just builds upon itself with each coming game? The student section's always full from the start of the game to the end of the game, no matter the score. I mean, the players play with a lot of discipline. They play with a lot of heart. When you accepted the job, is that what you expected coming in?
I kind of knew coming in. Coach Farrell does such a great job. He's an incredible man. Talks about character in his program, so I can't take credit for any of that. I've just come in and tried to basically build on what he's built here, support our community, see some ways we can improve in some areas. So I'm super happy with where we're at. But the Highland community is something special. I would say that I don't want to say we lost it, but it was missing for a few years. So it's nice to have that feel back from kind of me and my friends and my wife when we went here. This is kind of what it was like. So it's great to have that atmosphere back. Give a lot of props to Coach Farrell and his staff for what they've done, getting the community rallied around. The Booster Club here is amazing. They've done an incredible job of getting events set up. I've just kind of given them some visions of what I had, and they put it into motion. So, I get a credit for a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't. But I just, I appreciate everybody's help and what they do. This really is a community. We all do it together.
And really quick, Brandon, with the weight room that was set up from Ryan Fitzpatrick, I mean, what has that meant to your school, to the team, to the athletic program?
That was a big deal. So, but one of the first things I did when I get the job is I gave Ryan a call and just said, hey, man, we're trying to get a weight room together. Anything you can do to contribute would be great. So he told me to give him a call in June when he got back in between camps. So I did, and he came out. We shot the crap for a little bit, and then we went to the weight room, and he was astonished that we still had stuff there from when we played. So that next day, that afternoon, he sent me a text saying, hey, we'll give you the money for the whole thing, and it was amazing. So I really appreciate Ryan and his family for doing that, but just seeing the kids' response to it and allowing them to get in and feel like a 6A program should feel. Not only football, but all of our programs that are able to use it. It's been a big deal. So my next goal is to kind of we have 3 weight rooms. We have that new one, and then we have 2 other ones. So my goal is kind of work on the second one and get that up to speed too, so that we have a true facility that can handle all of our 6A programs.
Hey, really quick, that will be my last question for you, Brandon. What are the future goals? I mean, what are the things that you're working on currently?
There's a bunch of things I'm working on. Facilities and coaches are always my goal the first couple of years in the job. So I'm going to look to just upgrade the facilities anywhere I can. We're going to have some new stuff out here in the stadium hopefully this next year. Kind of want to keep some of that stuff under my chest, but hopefully by next year when you come out here, it'll be what I like to call a little bit more of the Texas style, and try and get it to be more like one of those stadiums over there. And then also our gym facilities, getting those upgraded. We're working on redoing our Hall of Fame in the gym lobby. And then from there, just getting the best coaches we can in. We already have a lot of great coaches in, so making sure that they're supported and they have what they need to be successful.
Well, I can't wait to see how all those changes turn out. I know that they'll work out just like most of the things have worked out this year for Highland and the football team. Brandon, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you guys very much. You did a great job.
Hey, let's go back up to you guys.
Thank you, Jack Johnson. That was Athletic Director Brandon Larson here from Highland, and some great words of encouragement for this program dealing with an adverse time. Hope the Larson family is in your thoughts and prayers at this moment. We will send it to a break, and the second half will be underway from Gilbert. Highland 17, Queen Creek 3. Back at you about 3.5 minutes here on the Highland Hawks TV Network. We welcome you back to the Valley of the Sun, where the sun has set in Highland. Here out in Gilbert, has climbed to a 17-3 lead on visiting Queen Creek in a battle of two lost teams in 6A. I'm Peyton Gallagher. Beside me is Alex Gollin. Betwixt the headsets, we sit anticipating a high-action second half as Highland will be on the defensive end of the field to start.
Yeah, it was a high-octane first half. Really, from the Highland defense. The offense got going at the very end of the half with that big touchdown run by newly crowned homecoming king Daniel Wood. But before that, it was a defensive battle from this Highland Hawks team. They intercepted the pass of the quarterback, Devin Brown, 3 separate times, one of them going for a pick 6, an interception return for a touchdown from defensive end Kyle Olson.
So Daniel is already out on the sideline after the homecoming ceremonies there at halftime. His teammates will join him now for the second half. And again, this defense will be back out on the field, a defensive unit that only allowed 3 points in the first 24 minutes of action. They had 3 interceptions, so when you're able to force as many turnovers as you have had points allowed, what does that do for the confidence of the 11 guys on the defensive side of the field?
Well, it obviously improves the confidence. It definitely makes them more confident in their abilities. When you pick off a quarterback that often, it just, I think, a really good sign for this defense moving forward. The fact that they know that they can read the quarterback, they know what he's doing, they don't have an incredibly, let's say, diverse playbook. They run a lot of plays that are pretty simple by the book, but they run them very well. So the fact that if they can figure out what they're doing on offense, Queen Creek, they've been reading it very well, and that's why they've come away with a couple really nice interceptions.
Well, we will find out what strings head coach Joe Germain has pulled in the halftime locker room, how much of a leash he'll have on Devin Brown as they try to right some wrongs in the second period from Highland. Both teams back out on the field. We'll be back for the second half after this. A quick break. A word from our sponsors. So as we rejoin you, a couple words from the people who put this program on. Legacy Funeral Home, amongst others, Evan, Dove, and Nelson, Fish and Greer, Attorneys Down Lock, Raising Cane's, Cards Wire, Ellsworth Home Services, and the Buffalo Spot also chipping in to put this program on here tonight as both teams are back out on the field. A few more reads for you as Ortho Arizona, Capital West Homes, Big Tree Landscaping, and Diversfield Builder Supply, Inc., as well as Epic Systems, IES, Lindsay Homes, and Avanti Windows and Doors, LLC. Aspen Physical Therapy, East Valley Tire.com, Morgan Taylor Homes, and Crandall Plumbing.
Yeah, Payne, I'm expecting a really, really tough second half from both of these teams. They're both really physical. Maybe not as physical a game as we may have seen a couple weeks ago. Highland playing Desert Vista out in Ahwatukee. That was a very physical game, but still physical here in Gilbert tonight nonetheless.
So Highland will send it deep to start the second half. Jace Bond nearly broke one off the last time he had a chance. But instead of trying to score, Queen Creek chose to sit on the football, I should say, and take it into the locker room to readdress some things. We will only wait now to see what gears have been turned, see if they can get this offensive machine humming in the second half.
And Peyton, definitely an interesting decision by the coaching staff of the Bulldogs. They could have gone for it a couple times down the field, but the coaching staff elected to take the safe option, knowing they would have the ball to begin the second half. They're going to put the trust in the hands of their offense to get it done here in the second half without some extra boost if they were to try and take some shots downfield at the end of the first half.
So the heralded Jackson Ray will put his foot through this one and start what is promising to be a very exciting 24 minutes of high school football here from the Valley.
Friday nights are about this, Peyton. Late October, starting to get a little chillier. And a really good game here on the field tonight.
The atmosphere builds to a fever pitch as toe meets leather, and an end-over-end kick is going to be run out by Bond. And Bond is swarmed and brought down inside his own 20. Great kick coverage by the Hawks.
Yeah, first man there was Tyler Archibald. He's been fantastic on the kickoff coverage. Had another tackle earlier on in this ball game, Peyton, inside the 30-yard line, maybe inside the 20.
And it sets this defense in motion for Highland, led by, in the first half, Amon Allen, who is laying hits left and right.
Yeah, Allen put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, Devin Brown. Really forced some of those quick throws that ended up being Highland interceptions.
One of which turned into a touchdown, and half of the 6-point scores of the night for Highland as a man is in motion. That's Darth, but they'll hand it off to Bond, who finds no room and is met only a yard beyond the line of scrimmage. 1 yard pickup on first down, 2nd and 9.
A pretty standard rushing play right through the middle there. Just a halfback dive. Gains a couple on first down. And it's effective, like you mentioned earlier in this game. 3 yards per play, 4 yards per play. Those short yardage plays, they don't look incredibly pretty. They don't look sexy, but they do get the job done.
And it is a game of two after a favorable spot. We'll see if Devin Brown gets his number called, whether or not they trust the quarterback here after the 3 first-half interceptions. Bad snap. He's able to get it to Bond, and Bond has space in a first down.
Yeah, well-designed play right there. Bad snap might have ended up helping the quarterback, Devin Brown, as it looked like he was fumbling the ball when, in fact, he had already handed it off.
So Bond is able to make lemonade out of lemons, get the first.
Is that what you make lemonade out of, Peyton?
I do believe so, yes.
Lots of lemon?
Lemon.
What is lime?
That is strange. Bond takes it to the left, cuts inside, and jitterbugs forward for a gain of 3.
I'm learning new things tonight. Lemonade is made from lemons.
I don't know how they do it in Chicago, Alex, but in Tennessee, they definitely make lemonade out of lemons. As Bond on this drive has been the source of offense. Another pickup of 3. This is what this offense wants to do, Alex. They want to grind down the field and stay ahead of things, not find themselves in bad situations.
And when they've been slow, when they've been methodical, they've had some success in this ball game, especially on 3rd and long. They've been showing the ability to convert those.
Quarterback draws back in the pocket and launches one over the middle. He had his man. That was Barth, but Barth unable to corral it, and it falls to the turf harmlessly. 3rd and long.
Will be 3rd and long. We'll see what they draw up here. They've had a couple nice counters around the outside, getting outside the tackles to run. It's been a varied rushing attack from this Queen Creek Bulldogs side.
And believe it or not, Queen Creek has actually been fairly effective in 3rd and 5 or more here tonight. Able to pick it up a couple times or at least put themselves in position on 4th down to try and go for it. Big play here in the early stages of the second half. Brown takes the snap, fires quickly, has his man in the flat. Stiff arm thrown and a nice pickup on 3rd down to make it 4th into the target. Trey Reynolds, the tight end.
Reynolds has made all of the big plays when Queen Creek has needed him tonight. Hits him in the flat. Getting really close to tackling him behind the first down marker was number 19, Dawson White, up the middle.
And the Bulldogs will put their cards on the table and go for it on a 4th and 2 from inside their own half. All the heavies on as Queen Creek tries to get every advantage. I formation on the field for the Bulldogs. Everybody in the line of scrimmage, who wants it more? It's Bond. He's got space. He's able to fall forward, and a spin gets the first down for Bond.
Yeah, that's just a great second effort from Bond. Gets hit initially, but has the wherewithal to shake off the defender just enough so he could fall forwards instead of backwards, picking up the first down.
Got behind his fullback, kept his feet, was able to move the chains and keep this offense on the field. A big play, a big gamble that pays off for the Bulldogs. Can they cash in now? From their own 46-yard line, the drive moves on. Quarterback flanked to his left by the running back. They'll give it to Bond again. He's got space this time on the right edge. He saunters out of bounds after a burst of speed and a gain of 7.
Peyton, it's very obvious what Coach Joe Germain has drawn up at halftime and what he has told his players. The offense runs through Jace Bond, and they've been going to him a ton here in this first drive.
Bond able to orchestrate this drive to this point as Queen Creek finds themselves in plus territory once more. Only 3 points to their name, though, at this point. Their third trip to the Highland side of the field. Under center now is Brown. Immediate pressure, Bond able to elude. And he is upended after he picked up the first down, but he paid for it.
Jashawn Lee, what a play out of the quarterback spot, coming from the corner, making the tackle on the second level and preventing Bond from getting more than he already did. But it was a good run, and it was a first down run, Peyton.
Bond chopped down like a cherry tree just outside the 40-yard line. But Queen Creek, the gears continue to turn on the drive as they pick up a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10 from the 41.
Jashawn Lee himself had a pick 6 against Basha. He does get reps at running back sometimes as well. 4 carries for 57 yards.
Highland threatens pressure, backs out. Good coverage played there by the Highland linebacker. That's Robert Kingsford, who already has 1 interception to his name. They were looking for Trey Reynolds on the out route.
Yeah, it's just solid defense. He's got a step on him, maybe a half step on him, but he just sticks his arm out there, makes it tough for the receiver, and he ends up getting a hand on the ball. Well done, Robert Kingsford.
So for the first time on this drive, the Bulldogs find themselves in a 2nd and 10 after not being able to pick up yardage on the first down play.
Will be a 2nd and 10 now.
Trey Reynolds splits out on the left, 3 receivers to that side. High snap, corralled. Brown flips it out. The bad snap disoriented the timing of the play as he looked to Caden Brewer on the tunnel screen. It's 3rd and 10 now. Brewer ties his shoe in the huddle. Alex, how do the Queen Creek Bulldogs help out their quarterback, Devin Brown, on a 3rd and 10?
Yeah, they've been really good at converting these 3rd and longs all day, Peyton, but it's because they've been able to get good blocking on the outside from their receivers for the running back, Jace Bond. Let's see if they can do it here.
Blitz coming. Brown in trouble. Rolls left. Penalty flag. Brown will throw against the grain. Soaring to the end zone. Intercepted and dropped.
Yeah, they're going to get Adam Bolcutt right there on a chop block. He hit the Highland defender low. I couldn't see who he hit, but the flag came in right away.
And I'm not sure if Brock Farrell will choose to accept this or not. If he does, it'll be 3rd and 20 from the 50-yard line or so. We give Queen Creek another chance at the play, but would make a 4th down attempt very, very difficult unless they got big yardage on that 3rd. But I think they'll decline. Now Queen Creek will have to choose between punting and going for it, and this has been the motif throughout the game as Queen Creek again gambles on a 4th down.
Highlands has some tough decisions to make on offense as well. Late down situations. They did their fake field goal attempt earlier on in the ball game.
So Devin Brown with a tall task ahead of him. 10 yards to go to move the chains. Fires out left, has a man, high ball, jump ball, and it's snagged, and a catch. Jake Whitaker takes it away from the DB and moves the sticks, or at least I thought he had. They signaled catch at first, but actually the receiver was out of bounds. It'll be first down Highland as the line judge on the far side was overruled.
Still a really nice offensive play. Jump ball with the defensive back, goes up, gets it over the top. Fortunately, it was out of bounds.
Highland scored a 60-plus yard touchdown the last time they touched it on offense. Siren will take a straight drop and throw it long again. Throws for True Tanner, who wasn't looking for the ball. It glances off his hands and falls, much to the chagrin of Queen Creek, to the turf without a play being made.
Highland's going for the deep ball, Peyton. We're going to see it again here in the drive. It's a matter of when, not if.
A lot of confidence in the backup quarterback, Taylor Siren. There has been no restraint put on this young man as he fills in for Gage Daly, who is a starting quarterback for Highland to begin the year.
Daly's such an experienced sophomore. Coach Farrell calls him special, says they've adapted this offense to fit the strengths of the quarterback, Taylor Siren.
Here's Daniel Wood pushing the pile for the first down and much more. Pickup of 14 for Daniel Wood, and he has been the shining star of this offense tonight and all season long.
Yeah, Wood just kept his feet churning. The guy played through his shoulder injury during his freshman year, was a part of the 4x100 relay that took 5th at state this spring. He's no stranger to big athletic accomplishments, Peyton, and he got another one of them academically. He's got a 4.33 GPA. He's now the homecoming king.
And he'll get the ball again here as he stutter steps forward through a hole. The late push from the offensive line. Jackknives forward for about 4 yards. As the PA announcer announces that he is also the homecoming king. Certainly not the queen. Got Queen Creek on the mind for a 2nd and 6 as their defense looks to stand tall. Wood in motion again. This time they give it to Max Davis, and Davis throws a stiff arm in and pushes the pile ahead. He'll be short of the marker, but it'll be 3rd and about an inch.
That's just a good play design from Coach Brock Farrell. They run the same play twice in a row where Wood comes behind the quarterback, Taylor Siren. The last play, he got the ball and they ran it on the outside. This time they fake to him, hand it off to Max Davis, goes right through the middle and gets a good gain.
Daniel Wood out of the contest on a 3rd and 1.
Max Davis has been the short down back here on 3rd downs. See if they give to him here out of the pistol.
Only 2 receivers in the formation as Highland goes heavy to the right side. Max Davis bounces off the pile, cuts inside with a great jump cut, and gets the yardage he needs to get to the 30 and get the first down.
Yeah, that's just sheer determination, Peyton. Max Davis was nearly wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, but he makes a nice move to get away from pressure, and then he makes the final move, the cut, to get forward for the first down.
Max Davis throws on his dancing shoes, and Highland inches close to the red zone at the 30-yard line. Wood in motion again, handoff to Davis. And Davis bolting through a hole. Highland just doing anything they want right now on the ground.
Coming into this one, Peyton, we expected a lot of running from both of these teams. Highland is shown to be a run-first team, especially now with without their starting receiver, Tanner Crandall. Zach Schroeder has carried a lot of that load, but a lot of it has also fallen onto this 2 running back tandem of Daniel Wood and Max Davis.
This time it is Wood, and he dashes up ahead and falls forward inside the 20. Another first down for the Hawks.
Something interesting you've been seeing a lot here today, Peyton. They've been running Max Davis as the fullback, and then out of the slot, Daniel Wood is coming and motioning behind the quarterback, Taylor Siren, and they've been running a lot of trickery through those 2 players. Fakes, handoffs, and then sometimes they're going to Davis as well. Something we haven't seen, though, yet, I don't believe, Peyton, is a fake to both of them and then a rollout right side for Taylor Siren. We'll see if they pull something out like that out of the hat later on in this ballgame.
A lot of options for Brock Farrell as Davis takes the handoff out of that same look again, but this time Queen Creek was ready as they stop at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they've been running it maybe one too many times now. Queen Creek starting to pick up the looks. They know they're going to motion Daniel Wood behind Taylor Siren, so they're trying to figure out which defender should pick him up, and they've been more successful in the last couple of plays.
The stop made by the big junior linebacker, Trey Reynolds.
Reynolds playing both ways today, has had a couple really nice receptions on 3rd and long.
Davis the lone setback on a 2nd and 10. And they'll call his number. As he gets behind his offensive line, and Noah Boone clears a path for him to cut out another gain, set up a 3rd and short.
Noah Boone, the most interesting man in Highland athletics.
I can reiterate that sentiment, yes, Alex.
I think Jack Johnson would agree with you.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he would, yes. I appreciate that.
If you don't know what we're talking about on your television screen at home, we've had some pretty fun interviews. Fun is the right word, right?
I'd say so, yeah.
Fun interviews with Noah Boone and Jack Johnson. Hopefully we'll get one more of those post-game after this one.
Noah Boone trying to provide some more smiles and get his offense into the end zone. They'll go to the right. It's Max Davis. Flags fly as Davis takes the corner and takes the end zone for the touchdown, but we'll wait on the ruling, and it's coming back. A hold on Highland.
Couldn't see who was flagged on the Highland side of things. But Davis was able to get around the end of the play with little to no touch from any of the defenders of Queen Creek. So a holding call assessed will move 10 yards back and do it again. 2nd and I think 20 yards.
Highland, a team that prides themselves on execution and the fundamentals, but they are often penalized. That's the 3rd touchdown in 3 weeks that they've had erased by a penalty flag.
Yeah, Zach Schroeder had 2 of them erased last week.
Wood, the running back now, 3rd and a millennium. They'll give it to Wood, and Wood keeps his feet, gets to the right, and a beast mode run for Daniel Wood. Touchdown number 19 for number 6, and Highland is in the end zone once more.
Are you serious, Daniel Wood? He was hit by 2 separate players, and he shook them both off, got to the outside, and had the burst of breakaway speed, put his head down, and ran into the end zone. I don't think I've seen a better run in high school football this season.
And the ground is literally shaking as the student section is bouncing here at Highland Stadium. Jackson Ray will look to punctuate. Put Highland up by 21 points. What a run from Daniel Wood. Up and good as it splits the pipes. We know Northern Colorado University is in attendance today looking at Mr. Wood. If you weren't convinced already, how about that last play?
Wow, I wish we had replay on that because that was such an impressive run by Daniel Wood. We're going to love to break it down again, Peyton, but man, he shook off 2 different defenders that both made him stumble, and he kept his feet both times, was able to get to the outside, and then burst away with the speed too.
3rd and 15 plus. Highland turns to their key man, Daniel Wood. He does it with his legs. The Hawks take it to the break. 24-3 to lead.
Jackson Ray getting ready to boot it away after one of the most impressive touchdowns we've seen from the Highland Hawks this season. Daniel Wood shaking 2 defenders off and bursting into the end zone on the far sideline. Coming back with it now. That's Keyshawn Callip. Callip brought down right at the 20.
Callip able to evade 1 or 2 tacklers, but you have to have a very rare play to make enough men miss to dupe this Highland defense in their special teams. It's just guy after guy right in your path, ready to tackle you, and again, that's the case as they get him at the 21-yard line on what looked like it could have been a very big return for Callip.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 from the 22-yard line for Queen Creek. They need a touchdown here. It's a 3-score game at the moment. Takes the snap. Throws, hits his receiver, Callip, stays on his feet. He's across the 25 and up to the 27 before being wrapped up by the Highland Hawks secondary. That was number 18, Amal Allen.
Allen is bringing the heat today. Another big shot as he set Callip down hard.
Allen himself with 3 interceptions coming into last week. Has a tackle for his loss to his credit as well. Had a season-high tackle, 13 of them against Desert Vista. He leads the team with interceptions. Devin Brown, the quarterback, takes the snap, fakes the handoff rather. Throwing down the field, it's tipped up in the air again, and it falls incomplete. Nearly a 4th pick for this Highland Hawks defense.
Trying to sneak it into Reynolds. Looked like he might have him for a second, but the linebacker who was covering the flat route peeled off, saw the ball, and got a hand in the way to deflect it.
2 minutes and 11 seconds left, 3rd quarter. 3rd and 5 from their own 27-yard line for Queen Creek.
And if Queen Creek is going to come back, they got to get something going now. They just don't have the kind of offense that can strike quickly. They need to give themselves every advantage as they head into the 4th quarter.
Jace Bond, the tailback, lines up to the right side of the quarterback. Devin Brown in the shotgun formation, takes the snap, throws it in the flat to his receiver, Callip. Callip brought down. That's a nice play by number 8, Robert Kingsford, the linebacker.
The play was there. That was the right call. They got the numbers they wanted, but Kingsford just man-on-man won his battle, was able to slide by the blocker that was in front of him and get to where he needed to be to make that tackle for the first time in what feels like forever. We're going to see a punt.
Robert Kingsford getting some attention from colleges in the area. Got a mention from 12 News reporter Cody Cameron from Rivals, rather. Got a shout out as a player to watch this season. And a player to watch he has been in this one, the 5'11 senior. Kingsford with the one-on-one stop. Punt formation. Kicked away by Zane Kopp. We caught the 31-yard line.
Highland already blocked 1 punt this evening. They nearly blocked another, but Kopp got every stitch of that ball as he switched the field. What a punt from the young man.
Places Highland deep within their own territory. Fair catch made at the 31 by Grayson Kennedy. He was the 4th receiver to begin this season, has stepped into that slot role for the Highland Hawks since Tanner Crandall went down with the injury last week. Doesn't have a reception today.
And Alex, with the way this game has gone, Highland with a touchdown on this drive would probably throw a knockout punch.
Handoff. Churning those legs is Max Davis. He's still on his feet and now taken down.
And I think you're starting to see the attrition on this Queen Creek defense of having players play both ways. These guys just are not tackling the same way, not getting the same push they did in the first half, and Highland on the ground has just been able to take over this game, running the ball for 6, 7, 8 yards pretty much every time they put it in the hands of a running back.
2nd down now and short for Highland. Siren in the single back with Max Davis. 3 receivers, 2 to the right. Shotgun takes the snap. Siren, draw play, hands it off Davis. Davis through the middle, churning the legs for a 1st down.
Again, you just see Highland, their entire offensive line, all those guys eating. This team should get a syrup sponsorship for how many pancakes they've had tonight, especially in the second half, because they are just getting pushed on every single run play.
Max Davis getting some more work here in the second half. Has rushed over 50 times this season. It was on Rich Obert's Arizona Republic 2019 watch list of players to watch this season. He has been a player to watch as well. Tight end moves to the right side of the line. Fakes the handoff, now gives it. On the outside, it's Daniel Wood across midfield, up past the 40. Falls down and lots of dust getting kicked up there, but Daniel Wood again for the first down for Highland inside Queen Creek territory.
Well, famous Ohio State head coach in the 20th century, Woody Hayes, coined the phrase 3 yards in a cloud of dust. That was not the case there. A big run, a beautiful play design as Daniel Wood got small and almost hid behind his offensive line. Really sold the play fake. Well done by Taylor Siren. Everybody executed, and he picked up the first down effortlessly. And we head to the fourth with Highland in full control of this one, looking to get their 7th win of the year.
End of the third quarter, 24 Highland, Queen Creek 3. We'll be right back with you on the Highland Hawks TV network. Fourth quarter revving up here in Highland. 24-3, the Hawks lead it over the Queen Creek Bulldogs. As the players have now taken the field. Waiting a couple more seconds to begin action here in the fourth quarter. We'll go down in just a couple minutes to our reporter Jack Johnson with the Farrell's Fanatics. It's a big student section tonight, Peyton, almost completely full.
This entire stadium's packed out here on the home side. Last time these fans will get to see their Highland Hawks take the home field in the regular season. If they're hosting in the 6A playoffs, that's likely that they'll get to see them again. But if they're in the open division, not likely that Highland will be at home another time in 2019.
Will be first play starting here. Hands it off, fakes the handoff. Rather, Siren hit as he threw, but he got it nearly, and he was hit pretty hard as he fell to the ground. That's the receiver for Highland, number 10, T. Treese.
Well, I was interested to see if they would end up calling that a catch and a fumble or a drop, but a penalty flag on Highland. Although they were able to dodge the first bullet of it being ruled a fumble, they are going to have to take 10 yards backwards in the wrong direction after the penalty.
So Highland moves back to the Queen Creek 45-yard line. Shotgun formation. Siren going to take a shot downfield, cuts off the route beautifully. Zach Schroeder. Zach throw catch, and it'll make it a much more manageable 3rd down and 5.
Baby.
Back to Jack Johnson in the Farrell's Fanatics student section.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay.
He's there.
Are we on? Okay, good. All right, get loud. Just get loud. Get hype. Get hype.
Max Davis gets the handoff as we're having some technical difficulties with Jack Johnson.
My friend, scary now. Scary. What are you going after? What am I going after? Look at this, baby. Scary clown. All right, we got cops. What are you? You're a pope. What are you? Now we got Winnie the Pope. I like that. Oh, hey, bring the Pope in here. What up? All right, I need you to speak some words of wisdom. All right, everyone in the nation watching this, and pray for our team.
We'll get back to Jack in just a minute, but we'll go back to the on-field action here at Highland as Max Davis gets the handoff moving forward as Highland has a first down. Back to Jack.
I think I pulled it off pretty well.
Let's go.
Thank you so much, Jack, for all of your reporting. We call that reporting, guys.
I'm so sad I didn't get to hear the words of wisdom.
Yeah, sometimes with all that interference down there in the Highland Hawks student section, can be hard to hear Jack Johnson, but we're just going to assume he had a really fun time, and then he'll be able to talk to us later.
That's a fair assumption.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, hands it off. There goes Max Davis around the outside, hits a hole. Davis cuts it back at the 10-yard line, falling forward inside the 5-yard line, and it's going to be 1st and goal from the 2.
Davis wanted 6, will have to settle for a nice gain. That'll give him a chance for a 1st and goal. And Highland getting everything they want in the second half as they are melting the clock with the ground game.
10 minutes, 38 seconds left, and you have to think a touchdown here would make it very difficult for Queen Creek to get back into this ball game. Potentially could make it almost a 30-point Highland Hawks lead. Max Davis, the lone setback in the backfield behind the quarterback Taylor Siren. Goal line formation. No receivers for the Highland Hawks. 2 tight ends to the left side of the line. Hands it off Davis with a huge push from the tight ends into the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown Hawks.
Sometimes when you get to the goal line and margins get smaller, coaches get too cute. That time, Highland telegraphed they were running left. They put everybody and their mom out there on the left side. They got big as they could get, and they just ran behind their guys. Walk-in touchdown. No nonsense drive for Brock Farrell and his boys.
Jared McGee won the backup tight end job this week for Highland because of his blocking ability, and it was on display there. They just barreled through everybody, and Davis just walked into the end zone as the extra point is up and good from Jackson Ray. It's now 31-3 in favor of the Highland Hawks as the fireworks go off in the south side of the zone of the stadium here at Highland High School.
Well, and that is the benefit of being able to play multiple offensive linemen throughout the year is when you get in those goal line situations, why fiddle around with a fullback? Just put the big guy in there and get behind him. Easy walk-in touchdown for Max Davis.
Max Davis, no stranger to putting his head down and running, and he could have went in completely blind. He just run right to the left like he was told on the play design.
And Davis there, he's just such a good counter to Daniel Wood because when Wood starts to get tired, and this is a guy, although he appears to be Superman in a lot of ways, that plays both ways. He's going to get tired throughout the course of a game. You can turn to Davis, and you don't lose anything. He runs just as hard, and the defense, you see Wood coming out of the game, you breathe a sigh of relief. You're like, okay, we're going to get a play or two off here. We're not going to get bruised the way we've been getting bruised the entire game. And Davis says, not so fast, my friend. He is such a good and such an important piece for this offense. Proves it on that drive as he spurs the Hawks into the end zone.
Take a look at a couple of our teal sponsors for Highland Hawks football. But Peyton, you mentioned it. It's hard to believe that we talk so much about Daniel Wood and how good he is, and he's getting Division I offers and all this crazy stuff. He plays both ways. He was an all-state linebacker. I could keep listing off all this stuff, but it's incredibly interesting, and it speaks to this program that they have such a good tailback behind him in Max Davis, who is just a junior, so you're going to be seeing a lot more of him next season for the Highland Hawks.
Yeah, the Hawks, they don't miss a beat next year with Davis coming in. Fully expect him to be able to shoulder the load and do more than enough to keep this Highland program on the up and up, as Gage Daly will be back next year as well. This Highland team is going nowhere in the 6A division. They are going to be around for a long time. Brock Farrell is that good of a football coach.
It's really changed the direction of this program when he got here 3 years ago. Highland was never, I would say, a bad program, but they definitely have benefited a ton from the coaching staff that Farrell has hired for this team, has put in, and the assistant coaching. And they've made this program into one of the perennial contenders, really, in 6A AIA football. Return man is number 9, Kobe Littleton. Littleton still going past the 30. Tackled around the 34-yard line, so another decent starting field position for the Queen Creek Bulldogs.
And even then, though, Alex, as this special teams unit for Highland did a lot of things wrong on that play. They flowed too heavily to the right side. They got out of their lanes. They got beat. As the player reverse field, nobody gave up, and they were able to get there and prevent a much worse outcome on the kick return. That's just been the story of their season on special teams. Highland, they're a good offensive team. They're a really good defensive team. They're a great special teams team, and that has helped them out in a lot of spots throughout the year.
3 receivers, 2 backs for the Queen Creek Bulldogs. Takes the snap, hands it off. Not much push from the offensive line. Ball's back, maybe got a yard. They'll mark him at the 35-yard line, maybe the 34. Archibald made the play. Calling his number a lot today. Archibald not in the starting lineup for Highland, but he gets significant minutes, significant play time. He made a number of plays in this ball game. Brown takes the snap, rolling out, being pushed out of the pocket, and he's going to be wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, and guess who? It's Tyler Archibald with a tackle for a loss and a sack of the quarterback. Comes up a little injured after the play.
Well, I don't think we've seen Brown sacked today. It's been a rough night for him, but he's not had many grass stains on his white jersey yet. Archibald makes sure he's not going to leave this building with a clean shirt. Really great play from him. And a guy, another one of those guys that embodies the mentality of this program where when you get to be in the game, you're going to go in, you're going to play, you're going to go do your job, and you're going to get good results for it.
The 3rd and a country mile. Play whistle dead. Not gotten the call. Looks like it might be a timeout. It will be penalty on the play. Holding against Highland. So does that sack get wiped out then, Peyton?
I think just about, Alex.
Still, what a penetration behind the line of scrimmage for Tyler Archibald. So it will be 2nd down and 11 now. So basically we wipe out the previous play.
Oh, and now folks are looking up to above the stadium here, trying to figure out exactly what's going on.
Resetting the game clock?
Yeah, I think so.
Heard someone say game clock 9:01. It is at 9:01 at the moment. Have to reset it because there was a penalty. It wasn't a sack. So if there was a sack, the play would have ran. The clock would have ran. Now they'll start the clock. It was at 9:01, now ticking down behind 8:54.
Highland most likely will not reach mercy rule territory tonight as they bring a blitz.
Throwing, hit right at the point where he touched the ball. Good coverage by Jashawn Lee.
In a tough spot there as Jashawn Lee was behind the 8. So he broke on the football a little bit late. A lot of times DBs will get in there early, antsy to make a play as they launch themselves towards the guy on the offensive end going up to catch the ball. That time Lee waited it out, waited for the right moment and hit him. Did everything he could to make sure the ball was not caught. And that time he's able to force an incompletion instead of giving up the pass interference. Beautiful play from Jashawn Lee, another player that I would think should be getting some D1 looks.
Highland leads 31-3 with 8:45 to go. Single back formation. Quarterback hit. It'll be 4th and 11. At least that's what's on the scoreboard. They'll send out the punt team. Interesting play call there on 3rd down.
Yeah, that's kind of a bite in the bullet play there. Your quarterback's been under duress. He's thrown a couple picks so far. Not had much success with the passing game. Your run game has been a lot stronger throughout this one. And on a 3rd and long, they felt it better to take the gamble of running the ball and probably not picking up the 1st down instead of throwing it and potentially risking a turnover.
So punting the ball here, down by 4 scores. And fair caught by Grayson Kennedy. About the 34-yard line. That's where Highland will start their drive.
And with 9 minutes left, Highland would love to have a long, marauding drive as they go up the field.
Marauding, is this Pirates of the Caribbean?
Something like that. I'm not Mike Leach, but Highland would love to just extend this one and run as much time off the clock as possible here, just running the football. They had everything they wanted and more on the last drive.
Do you have a Mike Leach impression, Peyton?
I do not. I wish I did.
Hands it off. Wood with a big burst of speed. There he goes over midfield. Shakes a tackle with a fantastic stiff arm. He's still going. And it took two people on either side of him to bring him down. Big gain for Highland inside the 30.
There was nothing marauding about that run and about that guy as he pillaged his way forward into plus territory. And Daniel Wood is running with a special kind of intensity here tonight. He's been making highlight reel plays all throughout this one right from the opening whistle.
Seven minutes, 37 seconds left. Highland looking for the knockout blow. Wood gets the handoff on the draw play inside the 25-yard line for a gain of 4. Your coach Brock Farrell, what are you doing here after that big run by Daniel Wood?
Just keep pounding the rock, try and share the sugar a little bit here. Maybe get some different running backs in, but Daniel Wood looks like he wants to stay in this football game and finish what he started.
Three receivers for the quarterback, Taylor Siren. He's got a tight end to the right side of the line that's pulling to the other side. He's going to be the lead blocker for Daniel Wood, and he did a great job at that. Wood is inside the 15-yard line, pushing forward inside the 10-yard line, and he falls finally maybe at about the 8-yard line.
Max Davis going to check into the game, and sometimes as a running back, when you're running confidently, you just know the first guy is not tackling you, and that gives you a special kind of ability to break tackles. It's almost a mental thing at that point as Wood is able to get another nice gain and add to his statistical glory for the night.
Zach Taysom with the great lead blocking ability right there. Starting tight end here tonight. Doesn't have a reception on the season. He's a block first tight end. And he provided a great block for the lead rusher for the Highland Hawks. Daniel Wood fakes the handoff to Davis, rolling out right side. And it looks like it is going to be complete.
But short of the pylon.
Short of the end zone. And they might say incomplete now.
Zach Taysom wearing a new jersey number tonight because, according to Coach Farrell, they lost his last one.
Man, if that's not high school football, I'm not sure what is. Oh, yeah, we had to change his number. Oh, why'd you do that? Yeah, we lost the jersey.
Sure, he's not too unhappy about it with the way this team has played tonight.
Second and goal for Highland. Gives the handoff. Max Davis, boom, goes the cannon into the end zone. Touchdown, touchdown Hawks.
If you go back and watch that play again, you'll see Chance Hanks, who pulled around to the other side of the formation. The right guard looped around to be the lead blocker, and he stood on the goal line just looking for someone to block. Couldn't find anyone to the end of the play until somebody was in the end zone. They ran right behind him, and it was a hole that was about 10 axe handles wide. You could have drove a Mack truck through it as Davis gets a walk-in.
You want Pirates of the Caribbean references. Max Davis has them into the end zone for the touchdown, and it's now a 37-3 Highland lead, barring the extra point. Peyton, we've streamed a number of these games this season as the extra point is good from Jackson Ray. We've streamed a number of these Highland Hawks home games, and there has not been one where there has not been a Highland blowout here at home.
They've been a demolition crew on this field so far this year. Nobody has been able to stand up to them. Both their losses coming in very close fashion on the road. And for Highland, if they are to host in the 6A playoffs, find it hard to believe that a team's going to be able to come in here and beat them. They have played maybe not the best competition to start the year, but you get a Queen Creek team that only has 2 losses, 2 blemishes on their resume to this point, and you take care of them like this? Now, I'm not putting Highland in the stratosphere of a team like Chandler, because Chandler beat this team, Queen Creek, 56-7 earlier this year, but Look at what Highland's been able to do tonight. Not necessarily on par.
Thank you to all of our viewers here tonight. We got 77 people concurrently watching, so thank you for your support of Highland Hawks Athletics. And you've seen a good one here tonight. Got a great one going on from Gilbert, Arizona. Got a fantastic crew out here tonight. Some of them from the Cronkite School, some of them Highland Hawks alumnus. Peyton and I both from the Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State. Out here in the East Valley. Return from number 11, Jace Bond, the running back. Another decent return, got past the 20. That's where Queen Creek will start their drive. They've not had bad field position in this game, Peyton, but their inability to convert when they've needed to has really hurt them. They've converted a couple big third downs, but most of those were in the first half.
Yeah, Alex, just not quite enough firepower on this offense. Not enough dimensions to it with a cagey, aggressive Highland defense on the other side of the football. It's just been very difficult for them to muster consistent offense.
So, Peyton, we were mentioning the blowouts for Highland here at home. They've scored 233 points here at home in Gilbert. They have allowed 21 points.
Is that good, Alex? It sounds good.
233 to 21. 233 to 21.
My math isn't great, but it sounds like they've outscored opponents by 202 points. Is that correct?
Well, if you add the field goal from Queen Creek, it's 3 points less.
Just a shade under 200, you know. Not quite as impressive. Wow.
Reminds me of Bill Swirsky Superfans. You ever seen that on SNL?
No, I'm not.
I got the
an
Bulls.
Uncultured swine.
I got the Bulls 107, but Michael Jordan will be held to under 200 points. You remember that?
I do not.
No? All right.
No. Sorry to rain on the parade.
Out from Chicago, so big deal by us. The point of that is Highland scores a lot of points at home, and their defense doesn't allow very many points at all at home. Has been a different story as of late. They have 2 losses on the road. Those are the only 2 losses of the season.
I wonder if you tallied up all the points the defense and special team has scored this year at home, if they would have outscored opponents here.
I would venture to think so, because I can think of 2 pick sixes off the top of my head.
Drew Tanner's kick return touchdown as well.
So that's 21 right there. Because Jashawn Lee, he had a pick six.
The pick six today for Olsen.
And then Olsen had a pick six. And then to open the season, Drew Tanner's 95-yard touchdown. So between those, that's 21 right there. And I think there was a safety somewhere in there as well.
So we're already at 23. This is interesting. An interesting development from Gilbert.
We're just thinking through it, Peyton.
Honestly, I'm trying to find ways to pass the time. This is not a very interesting game at this point.
38-3. Highland leads with just under 5 minutes remaining.
The Hawks have seen to that. They have had their way, especially here in the second half. At one point, with only about a minute left to play in the first half, it was 10-3. And Queen Creek had the momentum. But even though Highland was not able to start as quickly as they would have liked, they have finished even faster than they could have imagined. 28 unanswered.
Jason Strickler getting some action, gets the tackle there off the bench. 5'10 junior cornerback, free safety, strong safety. Plays all of the backs positions.
Good to have versatility, especially from your backup guys. You never know when they're going to have to be inserted into the lineup and where.
Single back formation, takes the snap, hands it off. Taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Tyson Lomu, the outside linebacker, gets the tackle there.
And if you wanted more of a fill-in, Highland on the season has been able to outscore opponents by a whopping total of 377 to 107.
Yeah, that's pretty good. A lot of it comes from these big home blowouts. Had a couple really tough games on the road, and You know Coach Farrell's going to be thinking of those when the playoff seedings and rankings come out. Highland's still trying to get into the Open Division playoffs at the end of the season. They're looking outside in right now. They weren't even in the top 16 in their most recent edition of the 6A Open Division rankings. They're in the 6A playoffs. They were ranked number 7. It would host the first round of the playoffs as it stands, and you don't imagine them moving down in those rankings after a big blowout.
No, I would say they're probably going to be up on the up and up, especially considering this team was 6-2.
And those 6A rankings do not include the Open Division teams. I believe there's 2 or 3 of them in there from 6A. Well, it's bracket watching time, ranking watching time for high school football fans across the valley, especially with the implementation of the Open Division this season. It definitely changes the mindset for a lot of these teams who might maybe not even be hosting the first round of the playoffs, and all of a sudden you're a 3 seed in the 6A playoffs.
Yeah, Alex, and this team, considering the injuries they've had to persevere through, and the fact of the matter is that you look at the margin that they have lost their 2 games by, and it is minuscule. If even one of those games goes their way, they've only played in 2 close games really this year.
And both of them they lost.
If one play goes their way in either of those games, they're not on the inside looking out. They're controlling their destiny to get in the upper half, probably, of the Open Division. Hamilton's there right now.
And what a game that was. We've talked about it almost every week since it happened, but it still baffles my mind. Gage Daly taking it himself, running towards the end zone, stopped about a half of yard short on the road against Hamilton, and that touchdown would have won the game as time expired.
Game of inches, and sometimes it just doesn't go your way, but Highland, through all of the clouds they've had to fly through this year, they've been able to find their way to the other side, and it looks like they're going to continue their hot run with a win here today.
3 minutes, 12 seconds to go. Devin Brown throws it, kicked off again, flag flies, but for right now, it's number 10, Teague Treese, running back with it. The 4th interception of the day for Highland as it stands, barring the penalty marker.
And we will look back to see what the yellow hanky was thrown for in the area of defensive holding or something in the offensive backfield.
As of right now,
offense coming out.
The offense is coming onto the field. We'll see what the call is.
Well, it was a 4th down anyway.
Yep, holding on the defense. This would be the offense. Penalty declined, so it's 1st down, Highland Hawks. That's their 4th pick of the game, and Teague Treese. So I think it's 1, 2, 3 for the linebackers, and then the pick 6 by the big man up front, Olsen.
If you told me Highland coming into the game was going to have 4 interceptions, and they were going to come from the 4 guys they have come from, not a single DB, I would have called you crazy, but here we are.
3 linebackers and 1 defensive end.
I mean, seriously, what kind of football game can you call back on and recant that there were 4 picks?
And none of them were by DBs. None of them.
Defensive end and 3 linebackers.
No safeties, no cornerbacks, all linebackers.
And all different guys, too.
Teague Treese, a good story for him. Missed a couple games with an injury this season. Now we'll get some more carries as the bench opens up for head coach Brock Farrell. It's Eli Lopez, the 5'10 senior. Gets a gain of about 6 or 7. Under 3 minutes to go now in this ball game here in Gilbert.
Are we sure that was Eli Lopez? Because it looks like, oh, it is Eli Lopez, but I thought it was an offensive lineman because of the 53. I got very excited.
For those of you who do not know, Peyton gets very, very excited as soon as any offensive lineman touches the ball in a designed play. And I hope you get to see that reaction because...
You know, I played on the line, Alex, and I never got that opportunity, and just it brings joy to my heart when I get to see it as Lopez goes back to work.
And Lopez wrapped up near the line of scrimmage, maybe lost a couple on the play. Covering it was number 16, Gilbert Rios III, and number 31, Casey Shull. Now under 2 minutes to go in this one.
Clock running.
We'll have Coach Farrell after the game, as well as some more of the Highland Hawks players. So stay with us after the conclusion of this game.
One can only hope for another weekly installment of the Noah Boone Chronicles.
Shotgun formation. Still Taylor Siren at the quarterback spot. One receiver to each side. Takes it, gives the handoff. There goes Lopez again. He's wrapped up behind the line. Be fourth down.
Highland might choose to maybe kick a field goal. It's a little long for a field goal. I bet they just end up going for this. Maybe they bring the punter on to get some practice, but really in this situation, what's going to help your football team most? It's getting these guys some experience in a 4th and short situation, because they don't have to convert this one, but they might have to be asked to convert one in the future. Some personnel changes. Clock running with 48 seconds. Highland better hurry. Play clock runs down to 10.
No rush for Brock Farrell's team as they come to the line. There's now 6 on the play clock. Siren takes the snap, gives the handoff. Lopez. Forward. He's got the first down.
Fresh legs and a lot of fight from the running back. So he gets more than enough to salt this game away, as Highland will emerge with a 35-point victory over the visiting Queen Creek.
Clock running here. It's now inside of 15 seconds as Highland walks to the sideline. Desert Creek walks to the other sideline, and that is all she wrote. The Cannons wins, and Highland's offense got it done. A defensive touchdown helped seal the victory as Highland defeats Queen Creek by a final score of 38-3.
Fireworks go off. There were fireworks off the field. There were fireworks on the field, but Daniel Wood provided the boom throughout the night, as you got to see in full Technicolor what he was able to do and put on display this evening. What a performance from Daniel Wood.
Technicolor, is this 1970? 1950? Actually, I don't know when Technicolor.
It's just a turn of phrase.
I don't know when Technicolor was a thing, like that they put at the beginning of those. But you see them at the beginning of Disney cartoons, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we are giving you a color broadcast here today.
I'm the color guy.
Lots of color. And great color shots right there. That's slang term in the journalism industry for B-roll. So we get the shaking hands after the game. Queen Creek had a valiant effort, especially in the first half. They bottled up Daniel Wood and the rest of the Highland Hawks offense. Really, for most of the first half, they ran a really good defensive scheme, but they got tired, and in the second half, Highland was able to pull away.
Highland did what they do. Execute, execute, execute from whistle to whistle. When push came to shove, that was good enough to really make a statement here today against Queen Creek with a 35-point victory. Well-deserved.
So Highland moves to 7-2 on the season. A big win for them. They've got one more game remaining in the regular season.
It's a big one against a rival. Not on very friendly terms, this Highland team, and who they're playing next week with Desert Ridge, the Jaguars. That's going to be an interesting game that we should have for you here on the Highland Hawk TV network.
Excited to bring you that one. Get out to an away game next week in East Mesa. Not actually too far here from Highland High School. On your screen, it would be right behind the Highland Hawks logo to the east side of the stadium as you see Coach Farrell addressing his players after the game. Looks like a pretty happy guy down there, Peyton.
Has to be. You come out, this is probably the best home game of the year for Highland. Didn't really have many tough opponents coming in here to this building this season, but whatever they did, they were able to take out Queen Creek with a lot of emphasis and get a win that I'm sure these kids are going to be happy to celebrate after the game.
Well, I know one person's going to be happy, and that's the newly crowned homecoming king, Daniel Wood. You think he needed some coaching at halftime? Because he was out here all halftime and he still ran for
Clearly not, Alex.
probably close to 50, 75 yards that second half.
Daniel Wood probably had the best half of the season. In terms of just highlight plays, what he was able to do in the second half here today was very impressive.
And I believe we're going to get a performance here from the Highland Hawks marching band now. We'll go down very soon to our sideline reporter, Jack Johnson, who's working his sources down there. He'll have Coach Farrell and a couple of the AS Highland players, rather. And now we send it down to the sidelines with our sideline reporter, Jack Johnson. Jack, what do you got for us?
A great interception earlier in this game. Walk me through that play from your perspective.
So we were just in stack defense, and so I just lined up behind the end, and so basically I just took my read steps, dropped out, and saw that the tight end was cutting out, so I just followed along with it, and the ball just came right to me.
You got. What do you credit that to?
I'd say it's kind of there's kind of a lot of things. You can't just like limit down to one, but I'd say we got very good coaches that keep us in line, and we're smart mentality, and we always just do the job we need to do.
You guys had a good win tonight. You're 7-2. You're going to play Desert Ridge next week. What are your thoughts going into that game?
Just gonna come out and do what we do. It's no different. It's just a regular come out and prepare for it the same way. Come out and play.
Yeah, one of your brothers, Daniel Wood, number 6, he had himself a night. What is it like playing alongside him on both the offensive and defensive side?
Oh man, it's fun. Just watching him. It's just like it's cool to be a part of it.
Hey, congratulations on the win, Robert. We'll go back.
Thank you so much, Jack. We should have more from Jack in just a couple minutes. Trying to work his sources down there and get as many talking heads for you to talk to. Peyton, who would you like to see?
That is a simple answer. It's big number 78, Noah Boone. Get him on my TV monitor now, please. That's all I want. That's all I ask for.
I don't know if Jack can hear us down there, but we'll see if he can get Noah Boone on there for you. We didn't see an offensive lineman get a carry, though. That's one thing we didn't see. I know you must be disappointed about that, but
yeah, I'm going to have to talk to Coach Farrell about that one. He's a smart football coach, but I'm not going to question anything that he does, obviously. But, for entertainment's sake, maybe we could work something in next week.
He's shown the ability to do so, and it would be a game he could do it in. Homecoming, night after senior night, we'll now get a performance from the Highland Hawks marching band. They're on the field right now, and usually the field fills with students. The players, the students, the coaches, the fans, everybody. But now it's the Highland Hawks marching band as we go down to Jack Johnson once again, who is on the sidelines. Jack?
Night for number 6, Daniel Wood. It's a serious question. Do you ever get tired?
Yeah, get a little tired. But I think just when you get those touchdowns and those good plays and the team energizes you, it's just fun to play for your team. So the team definitely gives me a lot of energy out there. So,
tell me about that screen pass. You took 60 yards to the house. You came back and you told your offensive lineman it's easy when nobody touches you, right?
Yeah. So we had direction on that play. We had Max swing the other direction, which Max is they have to respect him. And then our receivers to Schroeds and True, they made Max the safety and the linebacker. The lineman blacked out.
Going forward,
us, even though we're not technically rivals, we pretty much feel like and so they beat teams that we lost to Desert Vista, so it's going to be us, Kings in the playoffs.
What's it like managing both your offense and your defense? You're all over the field every game. You're even on kick coverage. So what is it like trying to keep all that in your mind as you go through the game?
I think not getting too hyper on each play. And the coaches do a good job of giving me rest when I need them. And then Max on defense when I'm tired, he's in there. Doesn't off at all on defense. So when I need to come out, there's people who come in and make the same play. So
Win. So that was Daniel Wood, number 6. Another monster game here for the Highland Hawks. We'll go back upstairs for the final time. This is Jack Johnson.
Man, Jack, that might even be understating it. Monster game from Daniel Wood. What a game for Daniel Wood. He's already picked up 2 offers from D1 schools, NAU and Drake. Northern Colorado was in the building today watching him. We'll see what developments come of that. But Daniel Wood, definitely the focal point of this Highland Hawks run-first offense this season. He's making Coach Farrell a very happy man.
I'd have to say so, Alex. This is what he did here tonight is going to get some attention from local media. Just some of the runs he had, man. Pure determination and athleticism coming together to paint a beautiful picture and a touchdown on the one run that he had to start this half the right way for Highland, and it was no looking back from there.
Highland was able to take control in the second half. They did so behind Daniel Wood. Max Davis had a couple nice carries in there as well. And it all bodes well for the big matchup next weekend to end the regular season. We thank you so much for joining us here tonight. It's been a fantastic game all night long. We'll go down to Jack Johnson one more time in just a couple seconds. He'll be with head coach Brock Farrell. Jack?
It looks like he had to take a call.
Coach Brock Farrell. And Coach, you guys had another great team win tonight. I mean, what were the keys for you guys to come away with this?
I think the biggest thing was in the third quarter, our offensive line just took over. Between that and our defense, they didn't drop at all. I mean, they came out in the first half and just stifled everything they were trying to do, and we came out in the third quarter and did the exact same thing. I mean, it was like we had turnovers in the first half, we had turnovers in the second half. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't do anything. So our defenses played so good tonight.
You mentioned the highlight for you guys was the defense. Was this the best defensive game you guys have played this year?
I think overall, because this was a really good team, so it was a good quality win. And just like you can see, we had more energy than they did. And the fact that we were able to make so many plays and cause so many turnovers, was awesome.
It seemed like a methodical way for you guys to reach 38 points in this game. Not a lot of the quote-unquote explosive plays that your offense is known for, but do you appreciate that you guys can still trust a ground game, trust Daniel Wood, trust Max Davis to get those yards and get points?
Oh, absolutely. And Queen Creek, their whole philosophy is don't let anybody get deep on you. So they weren't letting us, throw it over the top, which is fine, because that's one less person that can tackle Daniel Wood. And in the first half, they were doing a good job because they got some good football players. But we kind of counted at halftime the number of two-way players that they had, and you could tell, as good as their middle linebacker was in the first half, he was tired, and he wasn't tackling like he was in the first half, and we were able to, pound it on him. It was awesome.
Coach, you guys are celebrating this win, but I know that you're already looking forward to next week. You've done the preparation. You've watched Desert Ridge on film. So what are the things that you guys are going to need to do to finish the regular season 8-2 with the win next week?
Yeah, we got to play some defense like we did this week. Be a different challenge. Their quarterback's a little better, got a big arm. Aiden Lee is explosive. They like to get him the ball. And Coach Hathcock's a really smart coach. He understands run game and how to move the ball. And their defense has been good forever. So we gotta do some things enough on offense to score enough points to be able to come away with the win. I know that's cliche, but if our offensive line plays like this again and our defense plays like this again, it was gonna be tough to stop us.
Gotta love the confidence. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you so much.
That was Coach Brock Farrell. He'll go celebrate the win with his team, and we'll go back upstairs to you guys.
Well, Jack, if we know anything about Coach Brock Farrell, is that he'll be celebrating for maybe, over under an hour, Peyton.
I'd cap it at about 34 minutes.
34? Why not 35?
It just doesn't seem like that's a thing Coach Farrell would do. That's one too many.
Coach Farrell had a good game plan coming into this one. Ground and pound and tire out the defense. That's exactly what they did today. We thank all of our amazing sponsors here this evening at Highland. Peyton, any closing thoughts before we close this one out?
Highland is going to get back to work heading into next week. They got some stuff to work on, some penalties they can clean up, some miscues in the red zone to start the game. But all in all, an impressive performance for the Hawks, and they'll be ready to go next week on the road at Desert Ridge as they take on the Jaguars in a season-ending clash. They try to preserve their hopes of playing in the Open Division playoffs.
So if you've been tuning in all evening long, you saw a great one. The final score here once again from Highland High School. The Highland Hawks 38. The Queen Creek Bulldogs 3. For our entire crew, our cameramen Deshaun, Thomas, and Ethan down there on the field. For our producer and director, Travis Whitaker, for Alicia Holman, and for my partner, Peyton Gallagher, I'm out with Skull saying good night from Gilbert, Arizona. The final, Highland 38, Queen Creek 3. See you next week.